And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second broadcast of the night. We just wrapped up with the finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 40, the final Sparkling Tuna Cup of the year. And now we are back with Euro Cup, with Euro Cup 2023 day number 2, the final day of our European-based tournament. Oh boy, and the event started an hour ago. The event did start an hour ago, and yeah, as a result, during the finals, actually, during the finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, and alas, it did start during the finals, and yeah, as a result, we actually missed out on part of the tournament. We did miss out on the first semifinals match. Exclamation mark B in the chat soon, as I'm sure things will soon be ready for us. Exclamation mark B in the chat, but I'll just show it off here. I think we're still sorting out Nightbots, and I think it is still on the way, but we can have a look ourselves. This is what it looked like leading into day number 2 here. We had quite a bracket here. Day 1 was brutal. We casted Wayne versus Baby Marine. We casted into UED Soldier, of course. We were able to cover some of Shameless, GG Machine. It was a great turnout, a great event so far in day number 1, and it all led into the semifinals, and this is what has been held for us here in day 2. Now, I did mention before we missed out on the first series. Wayne versus Akedon did already take place. That series did already unfold, and Akedon took down Wayne 3-1. It's a best of 5. Best of 5 semis, best of 7 finals. Akedon took him down. That's very impressive. I was already impressed by Akedon taking down Young Yakov. The 2-0 over Young Yakov was I was really not expecting that. Young Yakov has been on fire recently, and Akedon has been taking a step back. I thought he retired. I legit thought he had retired. He had stepped away from the game, but no, he is back with a vengeance, and he 2-0s both Young Yakov. He 3-1s Wayne. Akedon, at least his TVZ, very much so in form, very much so looking strong, looking powerful, and very impressive. Again, soon to be updated on Wikipedia. Soon to be updated. Scrolling down a little bit further here in the PvP, we have Art versus Shameless. That is about to begin. That is a fresh series. 0-0 so far. It's going to be Akedon versus a Protoss player in the finals. Very similar, actually, to Sparkling Tuna Cup. Sparkling Tuna Cup, we had a TVP finals between Honmono and Nice, and now we're here for a TVP finals between Akedon and either Shameless or Art. We are here to determine which Protoss is going to be facing off against Akedon in those finals, in that best of 7. I'm ready for it. I'm just confirming. Is it a best of 7? Oh, that's me, English commentator. Yeah, best of 7 finals. Best of 7 finals. And you can hear the beeps. Here we go. So we are going to be loading on in. Again, it's been an intense weekend of StarCraft already, and we are here to determine and crown our Euro Cup champion. I'm all for it. I am all for it. As game number 1 is going to be on Golden Aura. And this morning, in the top left-hand corner, of Golden Aura, we have the blue Protoss player representing his relatively new team, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. He's so shameless, Papi. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Art. It is totally not confusing that both Protoss players called Art are also on the same team now. On the Platinum Heroes. Art is a relatively new pickup for the Platinum Heroes. I think he was picked up a couple of months ago. Like maybe 2 months ago at this point. Did join the team. Is a part of it, and yeah, with that, we are going to be settling into our next game. We're gonna be settling into our fresh semifinals match, a best of 5. Now, leading into this, I do favor Art. I do want to favor Art in this series overall. I do expect great things from him. He is the more established or the more veteran player here. Shameless more recently reaching the upper echelons of GM. But we'll see. We'll see if Shameless can bring something here to the table. He already exceeded my expectations when it comes to earlier in this tournament. Shameless was able to pop off and able to take down some big names, able to take down GG Machine in that best of 3. And I want to say he took down another big name even before that. So we shall see. As Shameless is going for a fake proxy pylon. We throw down a pylon out on the map. It is just a hidden pylon here, just for some mind games. Art comes in. Art is like, hold up. Your second pylon should be here. It's there for me, right? It's a mirror matchup. Second pylon should be here. It isn't, which means it's somewhere on the map, which means it could be an actual proxy or it could be a fake. Art doesn't know. Art is in the dark. Meanwhile, Shameless going to be going in for a bit of a delayed probe scout. We're going to be going for a double stalker opener here from Shameless. Sorry, from Art. Shameless going for a stalker sentry, so a very safe opener here with the juice box. Very safe opener from our blue Protoss. With this, we're going to be going for a hallucinated scout eventually. That's the power of the early sentry, is that you can go for hallucinations to get eyes on what your opponent is up to. Whether they are going for a one-base all-in, their tech of choice, Robo, Twilight Council, Stargate, timing of the natural base. A lot of value to be had there in that sentry. The downside is that your first couple of stalkers can snowball out of control and they can kill you. They can absolutely just give you such a hard time. But for now, Art has been scouting. He has been looking, checking diligently here for where the pylon is, and he has come across it. He does find the pylon. He knows. He's aware. Which means he's safe to expand. He's been able to piece it all together. Buenas noches. Thanks for dropping by, Sly Hug. Buenas noches. Hold on. I need to post an emote. As Shameless is going to be going for his tech of choice, is going to be going for a Twilight Council. Faster Twilight Council before expansion. Art went for the faster expansion, then into the Twilight Council. So, a bit of a more economic opener here from Art, a much more aggressive opener from Shameless. There's going to be a window where he has Blink and his opponent doesn't. Meanwhile, the hallucination comes in, and we confirm the Twilight Council. So, Shameless, he's aware that his opponent has a slightly faster expansion, and his opponent has slightly later Blink. So he gets all the scouting information he does need. Meanwhile, Art still in the dark here. He does have his own sentry. He hasn't gone for his hallucination yet. He's holding on to it a little bit longer. Holding onto that energy before he goes for the scout to try to get a read on what Shameless is up to as well. Again, a lot of PvP early game is all about scouting and reacting. It's just very much so the bread and butter of PvP, just because there's so much variety as well. You can go so many different directions, and you can be caught out, and you can just die if you are unaware of what your opponent is up to. As hallucination is going to go down. Predictions open. The predictions are late. They're a little bit late. They're like 5 minutes into the game, but it's fine. I did forget to post them. It was a little bit chaotic getting ready here for our broadcast and setting up all the scenes and all the overlays. So I apologize. Oh, also, hold on. I do need to fix the text. There we go. Sliding it over. As Shameless is going to be pushing. Again, Blink is done. Blink's still not done here for Art. There's that window we were talking about. This period in time where Shameless can, of course, have that advantage over his opponent. He can blink into the main. He has high ground vision. And Art, he is out of position. And here we go. We go straight for the main base. Dive on top of the production. Pylon is going to go down. We depower the gateways. Big pick off here from Shameless. And again, he has the better concave. He has the better position. Good blink so far, keeping his stalkers alive. But Art is going to be able to force his way back into his main. Good target firing. Does focus down those weakened stalkers. But it looks like Shameless may just have too much. The boys are being pulled. They have to be. But as long as the target firing is good enough, Archie's going to lose everything. Every stalker is going to go down. He's down to 2 stalkers. And it looks like there's no target firing, so Archie's going to hold. He repowers the gateways. He does barely hold on. That was a scary moment. Did lose 5 probes in the process. Remember, Shameless had the later expansion, so he had to deal some kind of economic damage. We have a shield battery on the low ground. Art, he is holding. Takes down another stalker. And Shameless, he backs off. He's taking his 3rd. Art already has his 3rd up and running. Well, he has it up. It's soon to be running. As Shameless is getting into his next tech of choice here. Going for the Robo. Going for a bit of a later forge. But both players are going in the same direction. They're going in the same direction here. Working towards +1, Prism, Immortal production. Hallucination is going to be shut down. Nice pick off there from Art. There it is. Charge is on the way. There's that Robo +1 in production as well here from Art. And Art, I do appreciate this because he is slightly behind when it comes to the economy. We have a Dark Shrine, and it's hidden in the mineral line. Not really the place you expect to see a Dark Shrine, which is why I love it. I love that it's in such a unique place. And we're going into those Dark Templar. We do have a proxy pylon set up here towards the north. Shameless so far in the dark as to where it is. Oh, he does catch some of these Stalkers though. One Stalker goes down. Two Stalkers, big pickoffs. Expensive losses here for Art. Shameless chasing him down. But again, Art, he does have the high ground. He does have his shield battery. A couple of sentries for those force fields that Epsay shade in. And two Adepts one-shot probes. Two workers go down. We get a third worker as well. A fourth. Oh my god. And this is getting out of hand. We get a fifth probe and we shade into the main base. We get a sixth. And we're not done. This is not even our final form because the Dark Templar are still soon to be on the way. Dark Shrine is done. There we go. The DTs are being warped in. Behind this, Art just getting into his own immortal production, building himself up here on 3 bases. Shameless working towards a 4th. Now it's only 2 Dark Templar. Do we have detection? We do. An observer across the map and soon to be an observer back at home, coming out just in time. DTs are waddling in, but the army, it sees. Oh, yeah, we dive on it immediately. Quick reaction out of Shameless. Very nicely done. Shameless, he does very quickly blink, dive on those DTs, shuts them down. Another Dark Templars on the way. So far, this hasn't been worth it for Art. Big investment hasn't paid off, not yet, until now. Okay, finally, we can one-shot some of these probes. 3 of them go down. It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. There we go. Cannons down on the way. Shield batteries as well. Behind this, Art's going to be getting his 4th base up and running. We got Immortals, Archons, massive gateway explosion as well. +2 on the way. And Art is getting ready for his eventual push. I mean, Art, he's ahead economically. You know, like, if he waits a little bit longer, he can take advantage of this 4th base. He can build up his forces. He can hit a very strong timing. But he doesn't want to push out prematurely. Shameless does have a larger Stalker army. Looking at the units. Again, Shameless, he's got 16 Stalkers over the 6 of his opponent. 10 more Stalkers. Ay, ay, ay. So the supply is in favor of Shameless for now. But Art, he just needs a couple more warp-ins. Does spot the army. Speaking of warp-ins, Shameless going for a big warp-in of Zealots. He's pushing in. Shield battery isn't done. Uh-oh. No shield battery, no overcharge. The Archon trying to do what it can, but it will be focused down. And it looks like Shameless, he's overwhelming Art here. Takes out the Stalkers. Prism will fall, but it looks like Art just doesn't have enough. Again, without the shield battery, without the static defense, like it just makes such a big difference. Immortals, they get picked off one after the other. GG gets called, and Shameless takes game number 1. GG. A solid game there out of Shameless. I mean, Art was doing well. Don't get me wrong. Art, he was harassing well, killing workers with his Adepts, eventually with his Dark Templar. Dark Templar were a little bit lackluster, but yeah, he was able to cripple the economy. He was able to get ahead. Remember, if we had a little bit more time, Art would be able to afford more warp-ins, a larger army, but he just wasn't ready at his 4th base. No sack defense whatsoever at the 4th, so we had to fight without one of the strongest units for Protoss, the Overcharge. Overcharge, it's such a big part of Protoss defense, and it just wasn't available there for Art, and as a result, things snowballed out of control here in favor of Shameless. In favor of him. And with that, that is game 1 in the books, but it's a best of 5. Best of 5, plenty of games are ahead of us. Plenty of games. As we do dive into our next game. It's game number 2, going to be on Hecate. So we all just file on in. Remember, we do have Akeron, our Spanish Terran player, waiting in the finals. Waiting patiently here for the winner of the series. I'm all for it. And here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have our blue Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. Not to be confused with Art, it is Art. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0. He has been popping off here tonight. He's been popping off in this tournament, I should say. It is Shameless. So shameless. Here we go. As we are going to be settling into our PvP. Once again, we should have some pretty similar openers. We should be seeing 2 gate here from Shameless, 2 gate from Art. We'll keep an eye on whether or not we throw down a fake or real proxy pylon. It's always something we have to be wary of when it comes to PvPs. And likewise, we'll keep an eye on the first 2 units as well. Our first 2 units, they kind of give a bit of a tell on how our players want to play this out. Whether we go into sentry-based openers, adepts, or even stalkers. They all have their place, they all have their strengths and weaknesses. They all facilitate for different playstyles. As for now, the Cyber Cores are on the way. Probe Scout's going to be coming in. Shameless going to be sliding into that main base, and he will confirm the second pylon placement of Art. Likewise, Art gets in as well, and he will confirm the second pylon of his opponent. So everyone knows that everything is on the up and up. Pylons are where they should be, which means we have a standard early game. And what are our first units going to be? Once again, Art going for a Stalker Sentry opener. Okay. So again, very defensive, doesn't have as much firepower as a double Stalker opener, which is what Shameless is going for. So a much more defensive start and defensive opener from Art. With his Shameless, he can be a little bit more assertive, he can push out, he can go 2 Stalker into 2 more Stalkers behind this and start to assert his dominance here onto the map and push out. Or he can go double Stalker into double Sentry. We have options. As we do recall that probe, and we barely do escape. Shameless, looking after his boys. Looking after every single probe, keeps everything alive. Behind this, going for a Stargate opener. Meanwhile, Art is expanding. So Art, with this, it makes sense. With a Sentry-based opener, he's going straight for the natural. Meanwhile, Shameless, going to be a little bit more aggressive. Going double Stalker into double Adept. And that Oracle. Let's go. Okay, so I love this. Essentially, the pylon that was thrown down here from Art did get eyes on the 2 Stalkers, but he doesn't have eyes on the follow-up, on the Adepts. So Adepts are going to be shading across the map, looking for some economic damage. Likewise, Oracle's going to be moving out as well, also looking for probe kills. Art is aware of one, not the other. Hallucination comes in, and we do get eyes on the faster Stargate. We confirm it's not an all-in because it's a natural base, so good scouting information here from Art, but the aggression is going to be coming nonetheless, and we'll see if Shameless can turn this on its head. As he does rock up, shield battery is done. And with the help of the shield battery, Art, he's going to be able to swat this away. The Adepts, they do shade towards the main base, and it looks like we will commit, but the wall was thrown down. A good reaction out of Art, good defense so far. He shuts down the Adepts, and he is aware that Oracles are on the way. Yeah, both Adepts go down. The main base, he does keep 2 Stalkers in position alongside a shield battery. This Oracle shouldn't find any damage. Again, really good scouting, really good reactions. Art, he just swats Shameless away. And now Art is looking to be in a pretty good position. I mean, again, he's on 2 bases. He can make 2 probes at a time. He can chrono out 2 workers at a time as well. So Art is going to be taking an economic lead. Shameless will eventually get into his own expansion, but this Stargate opener so far hasn't been worth it. Also, because of the Stargate opener, Twilight Council is delayed, Blink is delayed. Now, we have doubled down. Shameless, the first Oracle may not have done anything, but now we have invested into a second Oracle, and suddenly, these Oracles can do that much more damage. They can one-shot probes. 2 Oracles in unison, they are terrifying. They can ignore a shield battery. There are Stalkers in position, though. Ooh, good reaction time here from Art. It gets a lot of damage done on one of those Oracles, and Art, he just pins Shameless in the corner. Still no damage. I'm loving the hallucination coming in. Just being as annoying as possible, and Art going for his own proxy, a proxy gateway. Okay, so he's going up to 3 gates. We could throw down a 4th gateway back at home, and we'll see how hard we commit. This could just be to warp in adepts across the map to get into mineral lines and kill workers, or we can use this to reinforce a main army. One or the other. We'll see. Fun fact, these Oracles need to be on hold position. That's basically why he's doing this. If the Oracles weren't on hold position, then the auto attacks of this hallucination would force the Oracles to actually push out. Oh god! Would force them to actually move away from the Phoenix. So just a little bit of an interesting interaction there. Meanwhile, Shameless, he's taking his 3rd base. Likewise, so is Art. Art is pushing out, though, at the same time. It looks like this gateway is going to be used to reinforce. Yeah, we're warping in across the map. Art, his goal here to shut down the 3rd. He's getting caught out there. The sentries! The sentries, no! 1, both of them go down. We throw down the 4th, but it's not going to be good enough. Big pick off here for Shameless. Art's caught off guard. And Shameless is now aware that, of course, an army is coming towards his 3rd. At the same time, the Oracles, they go in. 2 probes go down. Looking at the armies, Art does have a slight Stalker lead. But his Stalkers are back at him to defend. He's trying to warp in. Oh my god. But Shameless, it looks like he's coming out a little bit better in this trade. Stalkers are falling for both players. It's going to be close, but I believe Shameless, he should have enough. Yep, he does. He shuts down the Stalkers. Almost every single Stalker goes down. 1 Stalker barely escapes. Not even. Oh my god. The moves. 1 Stalker escapes. We get eyes on the gateway. We're going to shut it down again. Just a disastrous start to that attack. The fact that Art got caught, he lost 2 sentries, he lost momentum, and he lost the surprise factor. Everything just going south here for Art. Meanwhile, Shameless, he gets his 3rd up and running. He can commit to the attack. Looking at the units tab here, Shameless, he has double the Stalker count. Oh my god. He wants the sentries. He wants whatever he can get. Gets 1 sentry. Barely doesn't get the other. Forces the overcharge. Immortal has arrived. With the help of this Immortal, we should be able to hold on. Yeah, we do force back the army of Shameless. At the same time, the Oracles, they got 4 more probes here across the map. And because of all the economic damage, because these Oracles have been able to kill some probes, Shameless is ahead. He's ahead in workers. He has Blink, of course. +1 is a little bit faster here for our red Protoss player. Getting into his Gateway Explosion. The one thing that Art has is the Immortal. Oh no! He had the Immortal, not anymore. Big pickoffs. It's not enough for Shameless to break this position, but he's just weakening the position of Art. Making sure that the Immortal count doesn't get out of control. Oh, he's bleeding out a lot in the process though. Has to be careful. Oracle's trying to go back in. Once again, keeping Art pinned back at home. Forcing Supply to stay back at home, I should say. As both armies are going to be backing up, Shameless taking his 4th, and Shameless, he's in control. He's in control of this game straight up. I'm impressed. Very impressed here. Faster 4th, faster upgrades. Again, the Immortals will be kind of the saving grace here for Art. They're keeping him in this. They're giving him the opportunity here to take a better fight. There's wondering, Immortals, they do amazingly here against Stalkers, and as long as they have something to buffer, something in between themselves and the army of your opponents, they can go ham. They can go to town here. It can make up for a supply deficit. Meanwhile, charge on the way. Temple Archive. So it looks like Art is working towards Charge Archon, which is the standard transition here in PvP. Meanwhile, Shameless back at home. What are we working on here? Still just working on a purely Gateway army. Nothing too fancy here. No Archons, no Immortals, just Stalkers and Zealots. Very similar to Eva, to what we saw earlier today against Cristiano. As Shameless, he does dip in between the bases, takes down, oh, almost one of those Stalkers. Same time, Prism comes in, up. Prism comes in for a moment here, but does get caught out. The Prism goes down, no shot. Art, can't catch a break. He does have, thankfully, a gateway that is repowered. We're going for a Warping of Zealots, but we have plenty of Zealots here to meet up with this. We are going to be forcing this back. At the same time, Art pushing on the right-hand side. Shameless pushing on the left. We're going for a base trade. We're going for a base trade. Shameless is committing, so is Art. Both players will be losing Nexi. Both players will be losing bases. Yeah, as we do dive towards that third base. Likewise, Art going for the kill, going straight for the main. He's going for the production. Art's making a beeline. His priority here, depowering every single one of these gateways as quickly as possible. And Shameless is doing the same. Going for all the gateways, making sure we cannot reinforce, we do not have any production. And every gateway is now depowered for Shameless. We have a couple of extra gateways here from our blue Protoss, from Art. Zealots are wreaking havoc. Boys, they're being pulled. They're being forced away. +2, can it finish? It's so close. 10 seconds away. +2 will not complete for Art. And there it is. It does finish for Shameless. He will have the better upgrades. Again, +2 will not finish for the blue Protoss. So Shameless, he will have the better army. He does escape with his probes, and he has the money. He can throw down some Nexi. There we go. Nexus is on the way. And Shameless, he has control of the main. He has control of the natural, of the third. He's going for the fourth. He's looking for any mining bases here of Art. And he will come across it. He will shut it down. Shield batteries are cancelled. And we hunt down the probes. Every single worker goes down. Most of them go down. We do escape, though, with others. And Art, he can throw down the Nexus. We are just trading places here. We are straight up trading places. Who's Bill Murray? Was it Bill Murray? No, it was someone in Eddie Murphy. Yeah. And it looks like we're just cleaning up all the production in the main base. Shameless is pushing out, looking at the army. We need to take stock here. Shameless, he has double the Stalker count of his opponent. Art has the higher Zealot count, has the Immortal, has the Archon, has Sentries for Force Fields. Art has a little bit more complexity to his army. Meanwhile, Shameless has just sheer brute force with the Mass Stalker. Zealots are back at home. He's rotating around, trying to find a way in. Does get a couple of hits in. Good concave here from Shameless. But the Zealots, they do make this a little bit awkward. Can we pick off the Archon? The Archon's so low. It's so low. As Zealots are being, they are just being picked off. Arch rotating around. Oh! Arch is going to be rotating around towards the last mining base here. The final nexus of his opponent, of Shameless. The boys are being pulled. Yeah, the boys are going to be fighting here for both players. Again, this is the final building, but it looks like Shameless, he has too much. He cleans up the probes, cleans up the army. GG gets called, and Shameless will take a 2-0 lead in this semifinals. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Shameless, one game away from 3-0ing? Crazy. Insane. GG, well played, and yeah, with that, congratulations, Shameless taking a 2-0 lead. One more, it's a best of 5. One more game is all he needs here to win it all, to take it all, and to advance on to those finals. An unlikely contender here. Like, again, when it came to the lower portion of the bracket, which lobby are we going for? Uh-oh. I'm gambling a little bit. Okay, we're good. But when it came to this tournament, you know, I was looking at Night Phoenix, I was looking at Nikic, I was looking at Art, I was looking at Exo Striker, GG Machine, like a lot of big names there in the lower half of the bracket, but they have all gone down one after the other. And who will emerge among them? Shameless? Alright. I'm here for it. I'm here for the rise of Shameless. He's shameless, Papi. Shameless. No shame. Here we go. We are going to be loading on into potentially the final game of the series, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the blue Protoss player representing the Platinum Heroes. He needs to fight back here and now to make a series out of this. It is Art. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Leading the series 2-0. Uno más, one more is all he needs. Crazy. Insane. Can he do it? Can he pull it off? Can he have that miracle run? Gibt, Papi, gibt. Also, good morning, Vindicta. I see Miguelito, Papi, Vindicta in the chat. Good morning, Papi, good morning. I hope you had a great time. Hope you had a great time over at DreamHack. I know we still have one more day left of DreamHack. Hope you've been having a great time. Hope you've been enjoying yourself. Oh. And here we go. Alright, going for the probe scout across the map. Likewise, so is Shameless. 2-gate opener here from both players. As to be expected, the pylons are thrown down in the main base. No proxies this time, no proxies. But yeah, I hope you've been enjoying DreamHack Atlanta. We've been casting as well. We've been casting both day 1 and day 2. Day 3, finally a day where we can where I can just watch the show and watch the broadcast. I don't know if I will. I may just sleep. Like it's been a very draining weekend here, just non-stop casting for the CranKy Ducklings, and I want to lay back and enjoy DreamHack Atlanta, but I may just lay back and pass out. Like that's what I'm worried about. If yeah, I'll try though. I'll try. As we have our openers here, we have our units of choice. It's going to be double Adept here from Art, and it's going to be double Stalker from Shameless. Now with this double Adept, oh, we're doubling down here. I'm seeing double. I'm seeing 8 Adepts. Oh my god. We are going to be committing here, and the goal here is to get some economic damage done. Is to zoom across the map, bypass these Stalkers, get into the main base, get into the mineral line, and kill these probes. Can Art pull it off with this Mass Adept style? Probe Scout is coming in. Oh, and we will get eyes on the 3rd and 4th Adept. Very big scout. Shameless knows he's in position. He's in position with sentries in the main base. We have the probe here at the wall. I love that the sentries are in the main as well. If they were here at the natural, the Adepts could commit to the shade and focus on the sentries. Sentries are very fragile. They're very fragile units. These Adepts, they don't just have to kill workers, they could also go for sentries as well. So really good positioning here by Shameless. Really good foresight. Adepts, they do threaten the shade. There goes that shield battery. We have plenty in position to defend. Behind this, we're going into a Twilight Council opener. So expand into Blink. Meanwhile, the Hallucination getting across the map, and we have the Stargate follow-up here from Art. So it's not just Adepts, it's also Oracles. Just mass aggression, mass harassment. How many Adepts in total? I said it before. I'm seeing 16 Adepts. 8 Adepts moving out here for Art. Oracle's on the way as well. Big commitment here. Alright, he's looking to snowball out of control. He wants to cripple the economy here of Shameless. Can he pull this off? Big shade. Where's the wall? Shield battery's not enough. We don't commit. Again, this is enough DPS here to focus down the shield battery. That's the scary thing. We need to invest into, I mean, ideally into a gateway. And here we go, the Adepts. It looks like they're going to commit. Oh, not quite. Casito, papi, casito. At the same time, Oracle's going to be threatening that mineral line. Do we have anything in the main base? We do. We do have 2 Stalkers. No shield battery, though. As the Adepts once again threaten the shade. We do cancel. We cancel the shade in the end. We finally commit! We get a kill. Oh my god, we were so fast on that, on the force field. Very nicely done. Shield battery goes down, but the force field is thrown down. The Adepts do not find a way in. They kill 4 probes, but we shut down most of the Adepts. The Oracle itself getting very low as well. Forced to Revelation. Let's go. And Shameless is going for a massive counterattack. What do we have at him to defend? Looking at the unit tab. Oh, we have 4 Stalkers. 4 Stalkers, shield battery overcharge. We have a sentry as well. Shameless is not pushing. It looks like he's looking for proxies. Okay. Fanning out his units, fanning out his Stalkers. Back at home, we're going for a third. I really want Shameless to push out. I'll be honest. Oracle did fall. And there we go. He is pushing. He has Blink over his opponent, but Blink is going to finish up in a couple of seconds. It looks like Shameless has kind of missed his timing here. Art is going to be able to keep up with those upgrades. He has an army in position. Is it going to be enough though? He has half the Stalker count of his opponent. Oh, no shield battery. Not yet. There we go. The army has arrived. We do have Blinks, but likewise we have the counter Blinks as well. We dive on top of the army. Right, he goes for the dive. But again, Shameless, he has numbers on his side. Stalker's going to be going down for both players. But again, Shameless, he's pushing through. Getting on top of the army, shutting down the sentries, the Adepts, and soon the Stalkers as well. The shield battery is going to help. It's going to help a little bit. As we try to drag the army out of position, out of range of the shield battery. It's out of energy. But we're holding. Yeah, it looks like Art, he will be able to hold on. Good target firing as well. Focusing down the weakened Stalkers. Shameless will back off. Art barely holds on to his third. And we have a game. We also have a Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine was thrown down here at the natural. We're going to be sipping into some DTs. There's potential with Dark Templar. Thankfully for Shameless, we have a Robo on the way. So you do have access to detection, access to an observer. Massive gateway explosion here from Shameless. 6 more gates. Again, a fully saturated third base. Both players have similar economies to each other. When it comes to the army sizes here, Art taking a lead in the overall Stalker count. Oh, Hallucination Scout does not see the natural. Shameless did not see the Dark Shrine. Big moment here for Art. Proxy Pylon has been thrown down, which means we can reinforce warp in across the map. Shameless is making an observer there. Yo, we got some safety cannons on the way. No cannon in the main base, but we have a cannon here at the natural, as well as a cannon over at the triangular third as well. Again, we already saw Dark Templar earlier this series on Golden Aura. Hallucination, not quite seeing much. DT's waddling in, but no, the observer comes out just in time. Oh my god. Probes are going down though. But there we go, we do notice the DT. And we will shut this down now. The army is being distracted by the Dark Temple, which means Art finds a way in. Oh, he tries to, but Shameless, he keeps up. Does keep up with the rotation of his opponent. Shameless, he defends his natural, he defends his fourth. Soul defense here from our Red Protoss. And these Dark Templar, they haven't been worth it. They killed 3 probes. 3 probes went down. That's all we managed to get. But things are still pretty close. It's still pretty neck and neck. Arch was able to actually make a big surge of probes. Oh my god, he's on 67. He has the better economy, working towards +1, working towards the Robo and Templar Archives. What's interesting here is that, once again, Shameless isn't really teching. Just like the previous games, no Archons, no Temple Archives. Shameless, he's sticking with a purely gateway composition, no Immortals. He's going to have +2. +2 is a big power spike here for Shameless. And he's cutting workers, he has the supply lead. He's going for the kill. Alright. Not quite in position, not ready for this. He's going to have one Archon here, two Archons to defend. But this fourth base is so exposed. Oh, the Zealots are stuck behind the army. No! The Zealots are stuck. They try to go in, but the force fields are too good. And they create a choke one here working against Art. The mineral line goes down, 14 dead probes. Here come the Archons, but the Zealots, they avoid the Archons. That's a lot of Zealots. How many? 20, 30. 30 Zealots. That's a lot of speedy boys. And again, these Archons can have their way with these Zealots, but so far, Shameless, he hasn't like dove into those Archons. He's been very respectful of them. Very careful. Rotates around, denies the fourth. Prism into the main base. Big warp in as well. And Art is being pulled apart. Oh, he was not able to react in time to those Zealots. I get into the mineral line. GG gets called. We don't get the final fight as Art taps out. And Shameless takes the 3-0. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Shameless popping off here in the finals. Oh, sorry, in the semifinals. Gets the 3-0, advances on to the grand finals. Congratulations. My condolences to Art. Definitely, again, coming into this, I was favoring Art overall. I was looking to him to be like the veteran in the scene to, you know, advance on to the finals and represent. But yeah, it did go down. Congratulations. Shameless not looking and he didn't die to cheese or anything like that. Like, Shameless, pretty straight up play overall. He was able to keep up with the aggression of his opponents, was able to maintain his economy, and yeah, solid play there out of Shameless. Very solid. GG, well played. Congratulations. And with that, we are now getting ready for the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 7. It's going to be a TVP. Here we go. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys wish to have a look at the back of yourselves. We already have some updates coming in, and there it is. We have Akedon taking down Wayne 3-1, and he's waiting, lying in wait in the grand finals, waiting for Shameless to rock up in that best of 7. Had players from all around Europa, Baby Marine, UED Soldier, Geralt, who was actually at Atlanta, so he couldn't play. Young Yakov, Akedon, we had Azura earlier, also from Italy. Exo Striker, Nikic, Art, Shameless. So far, it all comes down to 2 players. All comes down to Akedon and Shameless to find out, to crown our Euro Cup champion of 2023. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Let's go. For now, though, we are going to be going on a short break. Here, and when we return, we will have our final series here of the event. We'll have the grand finals, the best of 7. Till then, see you soon. Take this moment to stretch your roaches, hydrate your hydras, massage your marines, and we'll be back with that TVP. See you soon. welcome back everyone, welcome back. I apologize for the extended break here, for the extended delays, but we have returned with the grand finals, the finals of the Euro Cup 2023. It all comes down to this. It's been an amazing weekend of StarCraft with plenty of matches that were held, and it all comes down to these final two players. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the the blue. There's not even a red player. The blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Spanish Terran, the green Terran representing Platinum Heroes. It is Akeron. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this series will unfold, on who you think is going to be the Euro Cup champion for 2023. Up to you to decide. Predictions open. Just letting you know in the chat. And here we go again. Shameless coming in as the underdog. The dark horse of the tournament has had an insanely deep run, deeper than I thought would be possible. So very impressive stuff here from Shameless, but Akeron has been looking dominant himself. He has returned from a bit of a hiatus, going for an eBay block here on the low ground. This is a very powerful start here on Oceanborn, specifically because of the short rush distance by ground and how exposed some of these bases can be, especially if Akeron forces the center base to be taken. As so far Shameless, he's unaware of what's been going on. Probe gets across the map, chips away at some of those SCVs, but the eBay is close to finishing, and Shameless will be forced to expand elsewhere. Ooh, but he doesn't want to. He's going to be pulling the boys. Does pull those probes, so his goal here is to DPS through this eBay. He will have a delayed expansion, but at least the expansion won't be exposed here out at this third base location. It will be where he wants it to be. So this is a brutal choice to make. Basically, a lot of lost mining time. A lot of lost mining time. This is going to force out, or typically it forces out a Zealot as well, but the Zealot is not going to be made. Just cancelling with the DPS of the probes. Ooh, we do force a cancel. We do force that cancel. And now we get into our game here. Again, a lot of lost mining time. We have quite a delayed expansion as well, so economically Akeron is actually quite ahead. He's looking to be in a pretty nice place here, getting into his 1-1. Again, we do have a bit of a faster factory on the way here, should be going for an add-on swap, but for the most part Akeron is chilling back at home, and Shameless, he is looking for any kind of shenanigans here, checking the left hand side of the map, making sure that there's no proxy follow-up, which is not unheard of with an eBay block. Not unheard of. Let's see if it's making its way out. We do have our Marines amassing here on the high ground, looking to DPS down that depth once it does arrive. And we should be able to focus it down. Quick moves out of Shameless. He does back up, does retreat. Threatens his shade into the main base, so we do lift up those depots. And again, Hellions are on the way behind this. It is going to be a 1-1-1. No add-on swap is available. There we go. We have a tech lab just now starting up. And this should be Hellion into Widowmine and towards a mine drop, but well, we'll see. We'll see where it does take us. As it's not going to be Hellion into Widowmine, it is going to... Oh, there it is. I saw a Cyclone for a moment. I was like, yo, is he going Hellion into Cyclone? No, it is Hellion into Widowmine, which means we should be getting a medevac here. It means we should be keeping the tech lab on the racks to get into Stim and go towards that mine drop. Meanwhile, the Marines, they make their way across the map. Back at home, we do have a shield battery finishing up just in time, and Shameless, he will hold. He will force this back. Good defense so far. There's that medevac in production. Soon to be zooming across the map. We do get the add-on swap. Okay, so we're not prioritizing Stim, we're prioritizing tank production. Very wise choice. Back at home, we have our tech of choice, and it is not a Twilight Council, it's going to be a Stargate, so Phoenix production has commenced for our Protoss player. I believe we're in the dark. Yeah, I believe we have not seen these Phoenixes. We are not really aware of what's going on. This tank tells me that we're getting ready for Blink Stalkers, essentially. Getting ready for those Stalkers. Mine drop moving out. Hellion's getting ready for a dive, but we have really good SimCity here at the Natural. And the Phoenixes have been revealed as we do shut down one of those Hellions and the second Hellion as well. Nice Wiggles here. As the Phoenixes do move out at the same time. The mine drop moving in. Making a beeline for that main base. Phoenix is out of position. Stalker and Adeptio on the low ground. This Widowmine drop going to be catching Shameless off guard. He comes in with those Phoenixes, but alas, Archedon is in position. Does zone them away. The mine drop is coming in. Do we react in time? Oh! As we will be borrowing in. No reaction! No! Oh my god, that could have been so much worse, but regardless, 8 workers go down. That is half the mineral line. Very good connections. Widowmines are going to be split up. We do have some juice boxes. Widowmines are split up, but they're going to be shut down as the Phoenixes are able to keep up, and they even catch that medevac as well. A good cleanup, but only after disaster, only after losing 8 probes, and just like that, Archedon, he maintains his economic lead, and we are pushing. We're going for the kill. We got Marines, we got tanks, we got Vikings. How many? 15 Marines here alongside 2 of those tanks, and we are rallying across the map. We are not all in. We're going for a third CC behind this. We are not casting Honmono. Honmono, he was just a non-stop aggression, non-stop all-ins, but Archedon, he's thinking a little bit further ahead, and he actually pulls back. He doesn't commit. I think he couldn't. I do think that if he pushed out, he would have been able to deny this third base, but he's playing it a little bit safer here. Just calming things down. Gonna be backing up. As the Phoenixes, they do get into the main base, they do delay the third. They go straight for the Viking. Oh, they go for it, but they do not get it. Regardless, they will find some of these SCVs. 3, 4 of them go down. Good value here from these Phoenixes. Very nice value. Behind this, as Shameless establishes his third base, we have some safety shield batteries. The bay is done. Colossus production has commenced. So we are getting into Phoenix Colossus. A very, very solid unit composition here in PvT. Very by the book, very standard. So we are going to be cranking out even more of those Colossi. As we do delay that third base once again. Oh my god, the delays. No! We delayed, but we do get caught out. Here's Archedon. He snuck up on those Phoenixes, takes down 2 of them. Very nice pickoffs here from our Terran player. That should not have happened. We even have a bit of hull damage being dealt as well. Back at home, we're just building ourselves up on 3 bases. That is a massive gateway explosion. That's going to be 8 gates in total. So 8 gates charge on the horizon, not blink. We have Phoenixes to help deal with whatever is in the air. And of course the Colossi alongside charge lots to deal with the ground army. You know, like Archedon taking it slow, building himself up here on these 3 bases. Phoenixes, they will threaten the natural. They will get another SCV. And a mule. And Archedon doesn't care. He's pushing. He does not give a damn about your Phoenixes, as he's going to be committing here across the map. How large is our army? We're going to be hitting a time with 1-1. 1-1 is about to finish up, so very crisp upgrade timing here from Archedon. He also has 3 tanks, a decent amount of Widowmines. I say that, 2 Widowmines, 4 Widowmines even, and a handful of medevacs. And here we go, he's going straight for the kill, straight for the natural. The tank taking a lot of hits already, but it does stand strong. We can see Shameless getting ready to collapse on this position. 10 seconds away from charge. We still have to wait a little bit longer. 4 seconds. Once charge does finish, we can push in. The Marauders getting brave, but they do have to pull back. They pull back to the tanks. We lift them up. Every single tank's going to be going down. Big mine shots. But the tanks fall, and Shameless forces this back. Again, the Marine Army not quite where it needs to be. We weren't able to support those tanks, and Shameless able to have an amazing fight. What did he lose? Zealots. He lost 18 Zealots. Not much else. A couple of Phoenixes, which means his 4th base is going to get up and running. Now, bearing in mind that Archedon did keep most of his Marines alive, that's important to take note of. Archedon, he preserved his army. He may have lost his tanks and his Marauders. The Marines did survive. We're going to be threatening the 4th base, keeping the attention of Shameless here at the 4th, at the same time going for a double drop. But a Phoenix is in position. A little bit indecisive there by Archedon. Stalkers are getting in position as well. We do commit to the drop. So Phoenix is going to go down. Good positioning behind this mineral line. The Zealots, they cannot engage. The Stalkers, the mid command. We do have the overcharge, and this will force a pick up. No blink, the Stalker cannot shut down these medevacs at the same time. Akedon looking for the Prism. No! Oh, he will get it in the end. Prism goes down, drop into the main. How many workers? Good target firing. 13, 14. Almost, yeah, 15 probes go down. The whole mineral line does fall here to the drop play. Akedon maintaining his economic lead. Did lose a lot of Marines in the process, but well worth it here. Now we're getting ready for the next stage. The next push, we have a second starport in production for Viking production. We're just getting into mass Viking here to deal with these Colossi. Eventually into Liberators. Ghost Academy on the way as well. Akedon looking in control. And yeah, we can even push. We don't even have to wait for that kind of next step, for that next tech. +1, sorry, +2 on the horizon. +1 already done. We are going to be pushing. At the same time, as Akedon pushes out, a big Zealot counterattack here at the third base. The mines. Oh, they even take down the Observer. Not too bad. Observer goes down. A bit of friendly fire though. The Marines do fall, and the SCVs, they have to turn around and fight. Oh my god. A lot of SCVs are going down. That's going to be 9 plus 10 workers falling. But Akedon, he's been building up towards this push. This is his moment. He has been spotted by these pylons. 11 SCVs went down. The advantage that Akedon once had, not there anymore. The economic advantage, I should say. But he still has a terrifying army. Now, as terrifying as the army is, he's still up against Colossus and Disruptors. Now, he's got a good Viking count. He's got a good amount of Vikings for the Colossus. The Disruptors, though, that is all about control. That's all about what the Terran has to offer. Massive drop into the natural. The probes, a late reaction out of Shameless. Very late reaction. 12 probes go down, and now Akedon, he can push in. He has to be careful, has to respect those Disruptors. He's going to rotate around. In comes a mine drop. But we have Stalkers in position. Where the mines force the burrow. Not quite going to be going off. Shameless working on a 5th Nexus. Can it be stopped? Yeah, it's going to be cancelled. Get on. Actually, we're going to try and fight for it. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see if we can. +3 just now starting up here for our Terran player. 4th base being landed on location. Akedon, he's got an option here. He could either try to find a better angle of attack or avoid this fight entirely and just go for a counterattack here towards the natural instead. He's going for it. Oh. Thought about it. Dipped in for a moment. Going for a Doom drop instead. Oh my, picking up quite a lot actually. Okay. I like this. So we're keeping the attention of the main army here towards the left-hand side, but we do have a spotter Observer. The Observer does spot the rotation. Shameless, he should see this. Yeah, he does not have a warp in? Question mark? There we go. He's spinning off his Colossus. Keeping mainly Disruptors on the left, Colossus towards the right. With the Colossus being in position, we have to respect it. We have to back off. And Shameless has maxed out. He has a decent army right now. He could take a head-to-head fight. That is true. But Akedon, he's rotating everything towards the right-hand side. Disruptors are pushing forward. Akedon also going to be advancing here. We're going for a bit of a base trade. And we don't turn around. Yeah, this Nexus, sorry, this Planetary is going to fall. At the same time, Akedon diving towards the natural base of his opponent. Going for the EMPs. Takes down the shield battery, dives into the main. First Colossus goes down, the second as well. The Vikings, they go ham. And we are camping the production. Does Shameless recall or do we commit? We're going for depowering these gateways. Oh my god, the SimCity is brutal. It's just a wall of gates. My god. But here we go. Likewise, Shameless heading towards the main base, towards the production of Akedon as well. And we are in full base trade mode. So many SCVs going down. 36 dead workers. We get on top of the main base. We get on top of the production. Likewise, Everything else going down for Shameless as well. Akedon does have the supply lead. Other Stalkers, some of them do barely manage to blink away. It looks like +3 is not going to finish. It's so close. The Dark Shrine as well is still up and running. And +3 is going to be denied. Liberator, some of them do make it out to try to hold on here at the third base. The last bastion of hope here for Akedon. And the question becomes, does he turn around or does he commit to the base trade? Because we still have a lot of mining. Gateways are finishing. Do we turn around? The answer is no. We are not turning around. But can we save any SCVs? We're down to 7. Akedon, we need to evacuate. We need to get the hell out of here. Raxes are landing. The SCVs, they're sticking around. We have plenty of money to throw down another CC, but it looks like we won't. Uh-oh. And Akedon, he may just die from elimination. He is not turning around either. The planetary falls. And this is it. The final bases here of Akedon. 0 SCVs left. He has 2k in the bank. He just needed 1 SCV somewhere. He needed 1 worker somewhere on the map. So not the best kind of base trade here from Akedon, and Shameless is turning around. He's racing back home. Another Nexus falls. We have 2 bases left, and this base here towards the left, and this base here towards the top right for Shameless. Here we go. It comes down to the final fight here. We have 5 Disruptors, 3 Immortals. Akedon does have... we have pretty similar army supplies, actually. Pretty similar. The Vikings should be able to have their way with a Colossus. Good snipe on the lib. No freedom. Widowmine's going to be going down. No detection available here for Akedon. He's going to try to stand his ground. The Novas will not connect. But Shameless, he has a mining base. He has top right. Akedon doesn't. Up. No, good. We are going to try and trade here. Another Nova. Oh, no! Big connection! That's all we need. Just a half-decent connection. More Novas go off as well. A little bit premature, but it looks like Shameless has enough. Shameless, he has done it here. We only have a handful of Marines left. We do focus down some of those Disruptors, but we have the better concave. As I say that, though, yeah, Akedon, he's running out of steam. He's running out of units. And it looks like Shameless will take game number 1. GG gets called. Shameless does take a lead in this best of 7 grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. I do think that Akedon did kind of misjudge this a little bit. I do think there was potential for him to evacuate with some workers just so he wouldn't be so committed with his base trade, just so he could have like another kind of win condition or another way out. I do also think that Akedon, even though he was up in supply, we were lacking a little bit of urgency with that base trade as well. He wasn't splitting up his units. He wasn't attacking all the bases at once. He was slowly working through all those bases, and yeah, Shameless, he just had the faster, more efficient base trade overall, and was able to return back home in the end. GG, well played. Solid game there out of Shameless. In the midst of that base trade, again, just a really awkward execution from Akedon. Here we go. Now we're getting ready for game number 2. Getting into that second game. Ooh. And yeah, throughout that, Shameless was able to preserve his high-tech units, preserve his Colossus, his Disruptors, more importantly. Able to take it in the end. And now we're getting into game number 2. Vámonos, vámonos. We're still early here in the finals. It's a best of 7, remember that. Best of 7. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Radisson Station, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy, leading the series 1-0. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left, we have as opponent, we have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. Down to this series, but it's a best 7. Plenty of opportunity to come back. It is Akedon. Here we go. I see someone asking if there were any DTs warped in. There were no Dark Templar. Unfortunately, even though Shameless, fun fact, in the middle of the base trade, Shameless did actually finish Dark Stride. He finished Blink for DTs, but in the middle of the base trade, he got supply blocked. He got supply blocked because of all the pylons going down, so even though he had a Dark Shrine, he couldn't warp any in. He could not warp in any Dark Templar, and of course, Akedon did prioritize depowering those gateways as well, so yeah, just was unable to make use of that. Otherwise, in base trade scenarios like this, DTs, they can just end the game. Like, they can be your win condition in a base trade in PvT. Meanwhile, Akedon once again going for the eBay block. 2 games in a row. This time, Shameless does get on top of this a little bit faster, and I'm curious how he will approach this as well. There we go. Going to be pulling the boys. We are on Radisson Station. Again, it's a best of 7, so both players only got 1 veto. They both only got 1 veto each, which means we are going to be able to sink our teeth into some of these more unorthodox maps. And on Radisson Station, typically, it's a race into greed. Typically, it's just greed versus greed. Who can cut as many corners? Who can be as economic as possible? But Akedon, he's going for a racks into factory. Went for the eBay block instead. Odd choice. I'm not too sure if I love this. I do like this on a smaller map like Oceanborn or Golden Aura or Hard Lead. I do like this a lot on a smaller map. On a larger map, it's a little bit more difficult to go for an all-in. It's going to be a 1-base all-in out of Akedon. Again, his hope here, this is why we have 2 extremes on Radisson Station. Either a race into greed, or one player races into greed and the other player goes for an all-in, hoping to try to catch the opponent off guard and hoping to catch the opponent with their pants down just because they've been maybe going for too many CCs and just, again, cutting too many corners, and we go for the punish. As we have a proxy factory and 1 factory back at home. This should be Mass Cyclone. This should be a double factory Mass Cyclone here from Akedon. We've seen this a lot over the past couple of months. We've seen Oliveira do this. We've seen Dolan do this. We've seen Bjorn even do this as well. And Clem. Actually, have we seen Clem do it? I'm trying to remember. Not Clem, sorry. Ryang. That's it. Not Bjorn. Ryang. Ryang has done this. It was in WTL. WTL a couple of weeks ago. It is quite powerful, especially if unscouted. The first Cyclone has been spotted, so Shameless, he's aware he needs to be a little bit more defensive, is going for a Twilight Council opener, thankfully. So how do you defend against this? Well, we've seen a defense against this from Trigger. It was Trigger versus Dolan, if I remember correctly. No, sorry, Trigger versus Oliveira. It was Trigger versus Oliveira. And Trigger, he was able to recognize what was happening, walled off. Fully walled off here at the natural, and then went for a Robo opener. Here it's going to be a Twilight Council, so we're going to have that much less to work with. Blinkstalkers can be good, don't get me wrong, but we need gateways. And there it is, we have a Robo follow-up, but Akedon is pushing out. He is getting ready to push out. Again, nothing but Cyclones. Boys are being pulled as well to help repair. To help top up these Cyclones as well off of a 1-base economy. It's all or nothing. Shameless thinking a little bit too far ahead. Again, he still hasn't confirmed. He scattered once with his first probe, and there we go. The boys, they're on the way. Don't throw down the Nexus. Oh no, he's going for the Nexus. Okay. Not like this. Don't expand. We need to defend. We have a shield battery. We have an overcharge. Is this going to be enough? As Shameless is going for the expansion. 2 gateways, 2 units at a time. I think Shameless may just fall here. This may just be like straight up like a build order win, just because of how greedy Shameless is being, just because he doesn't know what's going on. And yeah, Akedon, he has arrived with 11 Cyclones. Massive lock-ons. Boys are being pulled. 1, 2 Stalkers go down instantly. And now we can focus down the shield battery as well. There's no overcharge available. And it looks like we eviscerate the mineral line. 18 probes go down. We dive on top of the army. And with that, GG gets called. Akedon ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG. Well played. We have a series. We have a back and forth. Again, Shameless just didn't know what was happening. He had very limited scouting information, and he was going straight into a third base. Very limited production, very limited units available, and yeah, was caught with his pants down. You know, that's kind of one of the dichotomies of Raditz Station. We either see hyper greed or we see an all-in. Hoping to catch someone being too greedy. That's exactly what we saw. Get on, took advantage of his opponents, of the map. GG, well played. And with that, we are going to be getting into game number 3 to determine who takes a lead in this series. I'm just happy to see it's a back and forth. We go. Team Little Fair, yeah. I believe it's a Chinese team. I believe they competed in the WTL qualifiers. They didn't make it into WTL, unfortunately, but they've got some heavy hitters. They have Coffee. They have Coffee. If you're familiar with of course one of the best Terran players in all of China, Coffee. I believe they have another big name as well. Let me just double check. I know they picked up Ender recently. They've got Forjumi, right? That's the other one. They have, okay, right, of course. We casted him recently. We casted Forjumi not too long ago. But yeah, they've got Forjumi as well as Ender. So a pretty solid team, actually. Very solid. But here we go. We're getting into game 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have our Spanish Terran player. Ooh, tying up the series 1-1, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Akedo. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. Once again, about to be, I imagine, blocked by this SCV. No, never mind. Going for a proxy instead. It is Shameless. Boy, here we go. The aggression continues. The cheese continues as we are going to be sneaking in that proxy racks right next to the bases here of Shameless. We're going for a probe scout to try to get a read on what is going on, and we should recognize that the racks is missing. Now, it's only going to be a single racks. We do have gases alongside this. Is this going to be proxy marauder? Do we go for a tech lab here? I'm curious if it's going to be a tech lab or just reapers. Just one single racks into a factory. As that is also on the table. Yep, there it is. It is going to be Reapers into our transition back at home. Meanwhile, Shameless going for Gate Expand. With this Probe Scout, he does confirm that the Rax is missing, and he is wisely checking further in the main base. The problem is that as a Terran player, you can throw down your Rax at the wall, you can throw it down in the main, you can throw it down at the natural, at the third base location, at the other third base location. So we do see Shameless is checking, just because it could be a real proxy or a fake one. He does confirm the follow-up, so he knows it's not a proxy 2 racks. It's not. He knows it isn't too committed. But I spoke too soon because we have the first Reaper out. Yes, that is true. Straight into the Marauders. Oh my. Are we gonna be pumping out Hellions or Cyclones alongside this? I kind of favor Hellions, because you have the Marauders to just chew through all the hefty gateway units, and then you have the Hellions for the probes, because boys are gonna be pulled. Yep, there it is, Hellions. Yeah, these two units work very well with each other. Basically, we can defend against Proxy Marauder with like a handful of gateway units and probes, but because you have to pull the boys, I mean, that's what the Hellions are for. It's a one base all in. One base all in from Armageddon, going for the 1-1-1, going straight for the starport. Shameless, he's looking for the proxy. He's looking for the racks. Reaper does not find a way in. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener. Thankfully, a Stargate opener I think would maybe kill Shameless. But we need units. We need units here more than ever. There we go. Second gate's on the way. Hopefully we throw down the third gateway in a robo. Shield battery is thrown down here at the natural. Reaper has arrived. The Marauder count is getting higher and higher. We're going straight for the Lib as well. Oh my god, we're just doubling down. Marauders have arrived. We dive on top of the Stalker. First Stalker, it's gonna fall. The boys are being pulled into the Hellion fire, though. This is what we want. Oh no! The Hellions, they roast up the probes. And the Marauders, they can go to town on the Stalkers. Again, it's It's a match made in heaven. The Hellion Marauder. As we focus down the shield battery, there's nothing left here. Warp gate just finished. We only have one gateway. GG gets called, and Ageddon will take a 2-1 lead in the finals. GG. GG, well played. Like, once again, Shameless in the dark. Once again, Shameless unable to confirm whether there was a CC. This is also why something like Sentry openers are quite common in this matchup nowadays, just so you can go for the hallucinated scout, just so you can get into the main base and try to figure out if it is a one base all-in or not, the timing of the CC, all that good stuff. Shameless had no idea what was happening, no idea what was going on, and was punished for it. And with that, we're getting ready for our next game. We are soon to be getting ready here for our next game. Just making sure we get all the casters in. Making sure we get everyone in here. Again, it's a best of 7, so first to 4. We still have at least 2 more. At least 2 more, and hopefully more games ahead of that. I want to believe that Shameless can fight back. But Ageddon, he's finding a lot of success here with these proxies and with these cheeses. With these one-base all-ins, essentially. 2 games in a row now. Do we do it 3? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would not be opposed to it here on Hard Lead. Oh boy. I can see the stream catching up. See Tommy gun. But Aye. We didn't even get to see the man with gun this game. We didn't even get to see him. Didn't even see him, but here we go. Hard Lead is going to be coming up next. And can Shameless fight back, or will we get to match point? Will we near the end of the series, as spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Hard Lead, we have the Green Terran player from the land of Spain, representing the Platinum Heroes, leading the series 2-1. It is Ageddon. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Protoss player, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. He's one of the little fairies. Let's go. Let us go. And once again, SCV is being sent out onto the map here immediately, and it is being rallied right into the natural base. Now, this is looking like, once again, an eBay block. An engineering base should be on the way. Rax is thrown down back at home instead. But Ageddon is looking to disrupt the economy here of the Protoss. Again, we're going the long way around just so we can avoid the scouting probe. As we do slip in, and we do throw down that eBay. eBay is on the way. And with this, again, we ideally hope to force the unnatural natural, but Shameless has been one to just react and just pull the boys and just accept his fate and take a later expansion. Did even occur on Oceanborn, bear that in mind. Yeah, boys are going to be pulled. We pull the boys, we focus on the eBay, and eventually we'll expand. Eventually. So a nice start for our Terran player. Team chat, it just really sucks working so hard for the first win then losing it. Yeah, I mean, this is also why, like, when it comes to competing in StarCraft, like, there's a lot that comes into play, and some of it is mindset, right? Because in a game like StarCraft, cheese is a thing, and of course canceled. Like, cheese is a thing, and aggression and proxies are things, and you have to make sure that you're able to, like, stay calm, right? Like, because it can be frustrating, right? Like, it can be frustrating to, like, win a solid, like, macro game, and then bam, like, in 5 minutes you're down 2 games. It's like, it can be frustrating. So you got to be able to, like, take a breath when you need it. Just take a breath, calm down, reset mentally a little bit, and get into your game. I'm sure Shameless is aware that, hey, I just get me into the mid game, get me into 3-base economy. You know, that's all I need. Get me a 3rd, and I can take it. I can win some games. I can fight back. But Will his opponent let him? Because this is going to be a Rax expand into 2 more Raxes. It's going to be a 3 Rax build here from Mageddon. Once again, aggression. Now, this is not an all-in. This could turn into an all-in, but for this, we're basically going to be building up a bio army. We're going to be hitting a very strong timing with Stim. Stim is going to be on the way. We're going to be hitting before Medivacs, before factory production, which means we're going to have very limited Stims available. Ooh, Shameless opening up very safe. He has been scarred. We're going for a Robo opener. We spoke about this earlier. Basically, the most standard openers here in this matchup are Twilight Council and Stargate, and what they both provide, the Stargate provides Phoenixes, the Twilight Council provides Blink Stalkers. They allow you to gain map control, they help you shut down drops, they help you be aggressive, pick away at the economy, blink into the main, for example, threaten dives. They allow you to be really active. And it's what Shameless has been trying to go for previously in this series. Here, a Robo opener leads into Fast Immortals. We could throw down 2 more gateways and go for we could throw down like a 3rd gateway and go for a Prism and be active across map, but there it is. Immortal production has commenced. This is a very safe way to play, very defensive. This does lead into a faster Robotics Bay and faster Colossus production. This is true. It leads you into faster Colossus, but again, you're just stuck at home. You're stuck at home defending, and eventually you can be active in the mid game. Now, what I will say, fun fact, Robo opener into a Colossus is a hard counter to 3 Raxes. So this is very defensive, very safe play, and it's going to work out, assuming that we throw down a Bay like now. 1 Colossus is enough to shut this down. The Observer rocks up. We do get eyes on the Bio Army. 2nd Immortal's on the way, but where is the Bay? We confirm the 3 Rax. Observer confirms everything. We are aware of what's going on. We already have 1 shield battery in position. There's the Bay is delayed. Usually you get 1 Immortal, then the Robotics Bay. So this is going to be a little bit late. This means that the first Colossus won't be out in time. So a little bit disjointed here from Shameless. But here comes the army of Mageddon. Again, we have a standing force here from Shameless. Shameless, he knows everything that's happening. He knows everything that's going on. All we have to do is survive. The execution, the force fields. We dive in. Where's the Evercharge? Up! As we focus down that shield battery, we dive on top of the army, focus down the first Immortal. First Immortal goes down, but it looks like we should clean this up. We go straight for the mineral line, and we get a handful of probes. He wants more. So far, 5 workers, 6 workers go down. 6 probes do fall, and the army is going to be forced out. And this is okay. Like Shameless, again, he survives. He holds. You know, the Robo opener is defensive for a reason. It allows you to have those Immortals help defend, and eventually the Colossus, of course. Accidental Molest is on the way. Colossus production soon to be on the way as well. And Shameless can take a 3rd. I would say here that Shameless is in a decent position. Pretty good position, actually. Just because he gets into these fast Colossi. Meanwhile, back at home, Mageddon is doubling down. This isn't 3 Raxes. We are going up to a 4th and a 5th Rax as well. This could lead into a 2 base all-in. The Observer catches wind of some of this, but we don't go far enough in to see these Raxes, and it looks like Mageddon, does he see the Shimmer? He does! He shuts down the Observer. Big pick-off. Shameless didn't see the additional Raxes here. The longer this goes on, the more I'm concerned this is going to be a 2 base all-in. Still no 3rd base here. Still no 3rd CC from Mageddon. We'll see. We'll see how hard he commits. As it looks like we do come across this Adept. Colossi coming out. And Shameless just getting in position here. Shield battery is thrown down at the 3rd. Yeah, splitting up here between the bases. And maybe anticipating a drop into the main. But again, the scan reveals the army, and Mageddon, he should know that he cannot touch this Colossus yet. Not yet. Still no 3rd, by the way. Still no 3rd. As we dive into the mineral line, no shot. He gets into the natural base. And so many probes go down. We had 6 worker kills earlier, and now we are up to 23. Oh my god, the Marines, they went ham. Meanwhile, at the same time, we dive on the right-hand side. We pick off the Immortal, and Mageddon, he is pulling Shameless apart. He takes down the shield battery as well. And I think this would be a good moment, actually, to actually commit and pull the boys. Like, we are ahead enough, but no. Hello, Mr. SCV. Show us the 3rd. There it is. Third TC is on the way. Akeron is working towards a mid game. He's not going to go for the gamble of pulling the boys and going all in. He's going for a more secure victory. And I think this is a wise choice. I think both could work right now. But going for a third shows us that, hey, I've dealt enough damage. I know that I'm ahead. I can just maintain my economic lead. True. Akeron, he is ahead in workers plus mules as well. So really good multi-prong harassment here. Really good split pushes. Akeron in a much better position. Now the Mivat hasn't spotted by these observers. See Akeron threatening a dive into the main base. The unit's not quite in position worth the natural, not in the main. Looks like we don't get into the mineral line, but we will depower some of these gateways. Oh my god, so many of them actually. Pick up a stalker. We force the blink back, which means we can escape. Can escape at the same time. Akeron hitting up some of these spotted pylons, reinforcing here in the center of the map, keeping his army hidden. Shameless gonna try and push forward here. He's up to 3 Colossi, but no! Late reaction! First Colossus, it barely does survive. Oh my god, the kiting! The mine shots! Big mine shots here on these zealots. Charge is just not done, but it looks like we should be able to force this back. At the same time, though, double jump into the main. Probes are falling. We do have some stalkers in position. But again, Shameless, he is struggling to hold on. The Colossus, they're exposed! They are exposed. One goes down, a second goes down as well. And it looks like this is just snowballing out of control. GG gets called, and Akeron, he will take a lead in this series. One game away from becoming Euro Cup 2023's champion. Oh my god. So in the chat, he's shameless. He doesn't care if his pants are down. True. that does make sense. That does make sense. No shame, Papi. No shame. I'm jealous. Yeah. As we're getting ready for potentially the final game here, I'm asking for game heart. We didn't have it last game, and hopefully we can get it for this one. Fingers crossed. Beautiful. We do have our game being set up here. Again, it's going to be on site Delta for game number 4. Again, Akeron, he needs Unomas, one more to win it all here. One more to win it all. Shameless, he has to fight back here and now. And again, it wasn't a bad start going for the robot opener. The execution of the robot opener was a little bit, you know, a little bit shaky there, but regardless, we held against the 3-backs. We got up to 3 bases, we got up to a Colossus count. But even though we had the tools to defend, we had Akeron with map control just pull apart his opponents, just constant drop play, marine run-bys as well, just running right into the natural at one point and getting an insane amount of economic damage. Like, it was just a little bit too much for Shameless to bear. He was pulled apart. And that was impressive. That was very impressive by Akeron to be able to, again, have the multitasking to pull that off. And with that, Akeron, yeah, he has been the dominant force here in these finals, in this tournament. Again, he took down the other favorite player. Took down Wayne earlier. Took down so many big names to make it this far. Can he be stopped? I'm hoping we can get a little bit more out of these players, but it's not on me. It's on Shameless here. Here we go. As we load into potentially the final game of this series. The dawn of a new age. The age of Akeron. Vamonos, papi, vamonos. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of site Delta. We have the blue Protoss player here representing Team Little Fairy. He has to fight back here and now. He needs your support in the chat to give us some more games to extend the series here. That's all I want. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Ageddon. One game is all he needs, and Shameless, he's had enough. He's been trying his best here to just play by the book, you know, just playing standard, playing normal, just try to get into the mid game, into the late game, you know, trying to play straight up here against his opponents. But the mask is off and the clown makeup comes out. We're going for a proxy 2 game. Let's go. The turns have tabled. The gateways have been thrown down. Shameless coming in for what looks to be a normal probe scout to tase away at this SCV. Ageddon going for a Rax back at home. Additional SCVs are forced out of the mineral line as well. Ageddon sending out his SCV across the map. Not checking nearby here for any proxies. No reason to. Again, Shameless has been playing standard this entire time. But I think he just remembered what his name is. I think he's like, I'm not shameful. I'm shameless. Of course. What am I doing? There we go. Twilight Council's on the way. We're going to be starting off with of course double Zealots. Once a Twilight Council. Cybercore's on the way. Once the Cybercore finishes up, we then get into Adepts and Stalkers. The goal here is to delay this natural base. Factory on the way as well. Ooh, the Reaper has arrived. We should be able to shut down this probe. And the Zealots, they force a cancel on the natural. That is what we needed. That is what we wanted. And we ignore the Reaper. We go straight for that ramp as well. Wall is on the way. We do cancel the reactor as well. Pretty good damage so far. Again, these Reapers, they take a lot of... these Zealots, they take a lot of Reaper hits. They are quite tanky. They're trying to delay the factory. And it looks like we can. We're going to kill the SCV. One SCV goes down. Second as well. Just zoning those workers away, and we have to pull even more. Additional Zealots are arriving. They are arriving. Factory does finish. Cyclone in production. And when the Cyclone arrives, that will be the end of this rush. And Shameless is going to have to transition back at home. But now they're still committed. Marines are being squeezed out here as well. The first Zealot will finally fall. Only 2 Zealots left. The Stalker has arrived, but we need the Stalker here and now. Another Zealot goes down. And it looks like Shameless, he's running out of steam here. He's taking down the Marines, yes, but everything changes when the Cyclone rocks up. And immediately Shameless gets the hell out of there. He did well for himself. He delayed the factory. He forced a cancel on the Reaper, or on the reactor, on the CC. Stalkers are on the way. And now we expand. Do have the expansion back at home. Can we focus down that Cyclone? He's going for it. Oh! He goes for the dive. Automas, he does take down the Cyclone just barely in time. There's one Marine left. But another Cyclone is about to pop out. We can delay the CC. Take down a worker. He wants the Cyclone. Automas, one more shot. One more hit and he gets it. The final Cyclone goes down. GG gets called. Shameless. He does it. He pulls it off and he fights back, taking another game. GG. Oh my god. Whew. I'm here for it. GG, well played. Shameless barely breaks the back here of Ageddon. Barely shuts down the Marines. The Cyclones as well. They were so close to surviving. And Shameless barely shut them down. And with that, the series continues. The finals continue. Here we go. No shame, no gain. Protoss is tired of all this honorable macro crap. He's sick and tired of it, you know? He's been trying to reform. He's been trying to to be like everyone else. No, Pappy, no. Embrace it, Pappy. Embrace it. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. To game number 2. According to Shameless, he prefers the macro style play. Look, it doesn't matter what he prefers. It matters what he's good at, okay? He's trying to reject who he really is inside. And what is he? Shameless. Let's go. As our next game is going to be taking place on Hecate. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Hecate, we have the green Terran player from the land of Spain, representing the Platinum Heroes, still one game away from becoming our Euro Cup champion. It is Akedon. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. Fighting back here in that last game, making a series out of this, representing Team Little Fairy, it is Shameless. Okay, well, any cheese will do. I'm down for it. Whatever we can whip out, Papi. Just get the win. That's all we need. So here we go. We're getting into a bit of a larger map, a bit of a wider map as well. It can be a little bit more difficult to actually make proxies and cheese work here, as we do have a gate expand setup. This time Shameless, keeping everything back at home, is going for a probe across the map with a very interesting, very interesting location here. This is looking like a proxy Stargate. Again, look, let's go! Pylon is on the way, Cybercore is thrown down. This is a prime location for a Stargate, but we'll see. We'll see what he does commit to. Meanwhile, Akedon, likewise, going for a regular SCV scout across the map. Trying to get a read on what is going on. The Juice Box! I don't know if you've noticed, but Shameless, he's been on point with his sprays. Stay hydrated, everyone. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of juice. And water. SV comes in. We should be taking note that the pylon is missing. Second pylon is not where it should be, and there it is. There is that Stargate on the way. So this should not be a committed proxy here, as the probe is going to be going in for a scout. Everything is looking normal. Akedon did go for a Rax expand. CC on the high ground, by the way, so very safe play this time from our Terran player. He has been scarred. He has dropped a map, so he is not taking any chances expanding on the low ground. So very safe play here from the Terran. Oh, we come across it. The Reaper makes a beeline here for the right-hand side. We have found the proxy Stargate. This was for an Oracle. We could still commit. Oh, that's another pylon. Void Ray? No shot. If we throw down another pylon like this, this could be a Void Ray instead of the Oracle. It is. Let's go. Proxy Void Ray has been scouted, but Akedon already has Cyclones on the way. So the way this works, shield batteries. We're going to be throwing down shield batteries here, and we're going to be trying to lay siege upon this production with the Void Rays. Plural. Many Void Rays are going to be upon us. We need anti-air. Bunkers on the way, Marines, Cyclones. I'm concerned because the production is looking very exposed. It is right next to the shield battery, so there's going to be a very tough hold here for Akedon. On top of that, Cyclones have much less range than they used to, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to actually get on top of those Void Rays, but they have a lot of DPS. Oh my, we're taking a chance! Instead of going for a second Cyclone, Widowmine. If the Widowmine connects, we can kill a Void Ray. So this is a really risky maneuver, but it can pay off. Meanwhile, that's a lot of shield batteries. Jeez, oh my god. That's 5 shield batteries on the way. 1 done, 4 in production. And Eps are going to try to push on in, but again, the mine! The Widowmine does get wasted on the Adept, not on the Void Ray. Cyclone goes down. We can deny this. We can deny that bunker. The first bunker out of range. Yeah, SCV is going to go down. We do cancel that bunker. So far, so good. Shameless gaining ground. And as I mentioned before, this factory is a little bit too close to the edge, and it will be punished. Oh, the Widowmine, though. We have to respect it. We need to try to bait it out. Oh, no! Oh, it's gonna connect. That was a bold move here. The Widowmine survives. Oh, that wasn't really worth it. That was tanking the Widowmine to the face. Not like this. We can tank another, to be fair, but this is really risky stuff here from Shameless. There we go. We have the prismatic alignment. We can focus down that bunker. Bunker is going to go down. Don't go too close. The Winter Mines. No, the Winter Mines. They go off. They shut down the Void Rays. Big overextension. That was what Akedon was hoping for. He lures in the Void Rays, and that may just be it. That may, like, there was potential. There was so much potential. So many shield batteries here as well, but the Winter Mines, they popped off. Shameless not paying attention, not babysitting his Void Rays. Another Stalker goes down. The Winter Mines, again, it was a very risky maneuver here for Akedon, but it may have just won him the game. May have just won him the game. Here we go. Oh my god. We're going to try and keep doing it. We're going to try and pull this off here despite losing a little momentum. Blink is on the way. We're going to head towards Blink Stalkers instead of Void Rays. Interesting choice. How many gateways? We do have 2 gateways up and running so far. We're going to try and rotate over towards the left-hand side. Can we find a better angle of attack? Can we still pull this off? Tank is in production, but the tank is now, yeah, but we still have Winter Mines all over the place. No! Oh my god. The Winter Mines. Ay, ay, ay. Be careful, Poppy. Be careful. At the same time, Viking harass. These Vikings are going to be landing in these mineral lines. No shield battery. And Vikings do a surprising amount of damage to probes. They annihilate probes. We're going for a ninja base with the juice box. Ninja base is on the way, but the Vikings, they're waddling in. And we deny all mining. 0 mining here in the main base. Forcing a recall on some of this army. Vikings, they lift and they get the hell out of there. Oh, we get one. To get 1 Viking, we can go back to mining here at the natural. So Shameless, his goal to contain. No longer is it to put, like, we can't push in. No longer. There's Winter Mines, there's tanks. We cannot break the main base. We canceled the ninja, but never mind. We're taking a regular base. Okay. I was hoping we were going to be committing here, but no, we are going to be canceling because of the Viking pathing, and we are taking the standard base instead. But again, as I was mentioning, the goal is to contain the Terran, and try to get ahead economically. That's the current goal for Shameless. Contain and get ahead. Problem is that this army is becoming terrifying. It is slowly getting out of control. Across the map, oh my god, so many, a marauding squad of Vikings. They land here in the main base. They take down 6 more workers. Thankfully, the natural base is about to finish, but this is brutal. We shut down, we depower everything in the main. Stalkers are going to be rocking up. They should shut this down. Vikings, can we lead? Take down 2. But again, the Stalkers, they had to come back home. You know what that means? That means we can break out. We can break out. The Stalkers are nowhere to be found. The Vikings, they had to pay for this with their lives, but they did a lot of economic damage, and they allow Akedon to expand at his natural location. His tank line is looking solid, his Winter Mines as well. Akedon, he's ahead economically, has more SCVs, has mules. Oof. Good blinks. Good blinks out of Shameless. Does avoid disaster. Avoid disaster there, shutting down some of those Winter Mines. He can't really push in because of the tank line. At least he still has, you know, some setup here. Oh no, the Void Ray! 1 more shot. Void Ray goes down. Oof, brutal loss. We're going for a Dark Shrine. DTs, okay, just do it all. Just whip it all out. See what sticks. Throw it all against the wall, against the Terran. When behind a Dark Shrine. To be fair, we are muling quite heavily, so we have enough energy here for a scan, to be fair. eBay is on the way. Once it's done, we should be throwing down a safety missile turret here at the natural. Akedon, his goal here to try to catch these Stalkers. Yeah, the surround has been set up. Basically, we force a blink back, and then the Marines are waiting. There's the blink, there's the stim, and the Stalkers, they get caught out. So many of them going to be going down. Massive trap, massive trade. That was 6 Stalkers for 1 Marine. We do have a Dark Templar. The DTs, they're going for it. Meanwhile, Akedo going for a big push across the map. We can scan, but we need some Marines. SCVs are falling. There we go. We go for the scan in the main base. The DT escapes. It does escape in the end. We also need scans across the map as well. This is going to get kind of awkward. Here we go. We do shut down the natural. Dark Templar wreaking havoc. They force a lift at the main base. 12 probes have gone down. We do have a scan available. Get on even pulling the boys as well. He does come across the Dark Shrine. It's going to go down. No more DTs. No more Dark Templar. He is breaking into the main base, but we have a turret. We have a missile turret, and GG gets called. The base trade will not work. The Dark Templar are not enough, and Gedon, he will take the series 4-2, becoming our 2023 Euro Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Akedon for having a pretty dominant performance here. Again, not just in the finals, but in the tournament itself. He took down some big names. He took down Young Yakov. He took down Wayne. And he took down Shameless as well. A really powerful run here from our Terran player, and it's really good to see him again. I want to double check something because I don't want to run like a false narrative, but from my understanding, Akedon, he took a big break. From my understanding, for most of this year, he wasn't really active. Let me just double check that, because I know that he just, it felt like he kind of disappeared. He wasn't really competing and playing in too many tournaments, but maybe I was just missing that. Let me just double check. No, yeah, exactly. So fun fact. Wait, let me just double check. Yeah, there's a massive gap here. So we had Akedon competing in May. We had him competing in May. He competed in ESL Masters EU, in ESL Masters Summer Europe, and then there's a 5-month gap, 5 months where he didn't play in anything, and then he came back in October playing in the European Winter qualifiers. That's what I mean, right? Like he just disappeared. He only showed up for ESL Summer, then ESL Masters Winter. There was a 5-month gap where he just wasn't playing in anything, and yeah, he came back, and he came back recently, showed up here for the Euro Cup, and yeah, he took it all. Even then, there was also a gap in between ESL Masters Winter and the Euro Cup. You know, this kind of brought him out of retirement in a way. So yeah, and I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate seeing him again. He used to be very active. He was a very active player in 2022. 2022, my eyes were on Akedon. He was like the rising star. I was expecting big things leading into 2023, but he just kind of disappeared. He stopped competing, stopped playing, wasn't as active as he once was, and now he's back with a vengeance, and these are some damn powerful results. So very impressive stuff. GG, well played. Good to see you back, Papa. Good to see you back, Akedon. GG. Good to see you back. And congratulations as well. Oh, maybe he was like hibernating. Maybe he was like, you know, just building up his power and then eventually unleashing it upon all of us. That was beautiful. Predictions are going to get paid out. And yeah, with that, that would be the end of our broadcast here. But I have something special. I have something a little bit special. It's a little bit less, maybe for some people a little bit less exciting, but I have replays. I have replays from the upper semifinals that we missed. Remember, the event started while we were casting the finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup. The event did commence while we were busy with Hon Mono versus Nice, which meant that we missed out on the first semifinals. But I have the replays, and I am more than willing to dive into them. Again, we are aware for the most part of the outcome, but I'm still excited to cast the games, and I want to see what happened. I'm very curious to see what happened in that best of 5 between Akedon and Wayne. I'm very excited. We're gonna have to take a moment here to set things up and to take a break, and I'm gonna refill my water and all that stuff. So there's gonna be a bit of a break in between, but we will be getting into the upper semifinals to find out what happened and to find out how that all went down. Before we get into that, I want to give a special shout out to Platoon. Platoon is, of course, the main organizers of this event, and you guys should be following them. Let me just double check here. You guys should be following Platoon on at least Twitter, you know, maybe keeping an eye out for any other events that they do host. Again, they're a great team, and fun facts, Tommy Gunn, who's in the chat, is actually, I believe, the manager of Platoon. He's the person that did reach out to me and was like, Papi, cast. Cast, but follow. I'm posting the Twitter in their X in the Twitch chat. And yeah, he reached out, and Tommy Gunn, I mean, we've interacted before. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Tommy Gunn played in our events in the past, like in amateur events. For like back in the day for like diamond players, for Ducklings Open, for example. So long history, and yeah, he reached out. He was like, Papi, do you want to cast? I'm like, of course. Hey, do you even have to? You didn't even have to tell me what I'm going to be casting. I'll cast, Papi, I'll cast. Yeah. And we were able to make this happen, bring this together. And it was a great event. It was a lot of fun, a lot of really good matches. If you missed out on Euro Cup yesterday, I recommend it. I highly recommend checking out the Euro Cup yesterday for day number 1. Some really, really amazing matches were had there, and they will eventually be uploaded to YouTube. Also, a big shout out to Kuro. Kuro did put together the scenes and the overlays and made everything look as nice as it does. I mean, the overlays were made, of course, by the Platoon team. Don't get me, I don't want to take away from them. Really cool graphics. Hold on, can I show it off? Can I? Oh, look, it's animated back there. You can't really see it because it's behind the webcams, but it's beautiful. Look at it. It's Earth. Welcome to Earth. But yeah, shout out to Kuro, shout out to Tommy Gunn as well, of course, in the chat for allowing this event to happen, and I hope we can see more. I hope, from my understanding, this is maybe the first time that you've been hosting an event like this, but you know, maybe we can see this a little bit more regularly. It was a lot of fun. It was a great experience, and maybe next time we can even have more of the European scene get involved as well. I know there were some players that didn't realize this was happening, and Ewa, like at the last second, was like, let me in, Papi, let me in. I want to play. It's like, man, you're too late. You're half an hour too late. What's going on? It was a lot of fun. Was a lot of fun. So yeah, big shout out to Tommy Gunn and everyone behind the team at Platoon. With that, we are going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a very short break, and when we return, we will have a bit of a replay cast of the upper semifinals of Akedon versus Wayne. So I am excited. I want to sink my teeth into it. I want to see what happened. Also, I don't want to gloss over this person, but a shout out to Shameless. Shameless had a standout performance here. He may not have won. He may have gone down in the finals, but damn, did he go down swinging, and did he have the run of his life? Quickly switching our scenes over. Like Shameless, he took down Art, he took down Lord GG, he took down GG Machine as well in a best of 3, went all the way to the ace match. Coming into this tournament, my eyes were on some of these other big names. They were on Nikic, they were on Art, they were on Extra Striker or GG Machine to make it to the finals, but out of all of them, Shameless came out on top instead, and he's a player that's really gone kind of under the radar for me. I remember casting Shameless years ago when he was still a Masters player. I remember casting him when he was more of an amateur player, like in these online amateur team league matches, like the Alpha Star League or the Berserker Team League and stuff like that. Or even in our events. I'm pretty sure Shameless played in like MSO, Masters 1 Open, before, which was our Bronze to Masters 2 tournament years ago. So yeah, it's really cool to see him just rise through the ranks and improve so much as a player, and yeah, actually, you know, show that here in a big tournament like this. Did fall in the end to Akedon, but I mean, hey, he took some games, made him work for it. GG, well played, and he is in the money. This event was very top heavy. Top two do get paid out, quite a hefty payout as well. 400 USD for Akedon, 100 for Nameless, or 90 for Nameless, 300 for Akedon. I apologize. Sorry, it's 400 in total. Math, Papi, math. 300 and 100. So yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff here. But yeah, with that, we're going to be going on a short break, and when we return, we will have one more series for you. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Be back soon. Be back soon. Back soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OST. And we have returned here with, again, something a little bit different, a little bit special here. We have gone back in time to the semifinals of this event. We just wrapped up with the finals, but we missed out on this matchup on Wayne versus Akedon. At the time, we were covering the Sparkling Tuna Cup, so we weren't able to cast this live. This is a couple of hours old, these matches, and I am more than excited to dive into them again. I'm very excited. I mean, I love both Wayne and Akedon, and a ZVT. Let me at it. Let me at it. I want to see what happened between these two and what transpired in this series as we're getting to game number 1 of this best of 5. Best of 5 at semi-finals match. Again, a big shout out to the people behind the Euro Cup, Platoon, alongside Tommy Gunn as well, which we did see in the chat. He also confirmed that yes, he did a long time ago. He played in Duckling Open many years ago. Good to see you again. Good to see you again. As here we go, we're diving into this and spawning in the top left-hand corner. Top left-hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of Spain. It is Akedon. And unfortunately, during the quarterfinals, we missed Akedon versus Young Jakob. I was looking at that series, I was salivating, but we just weren't able to catch that. So I am very unfamiliar with Akedon's TVZ. I'm not too sure how he's been adapting to the new meta here. Has he been embracing the new Cyclone? Has he been embracing the Beyond Opener of 2-Rax Reaper? As I bring that up, oh, hello. We have one, soon to be 2-Rax, as he is embracing that Beyond style. Okay, so Akedon, he has been keeping up with the meta. Love to see it. Across the map, 15-15. 15 hatchery into a 15 spawning pool as well. This is a very greedy economic opener out of Wayne. The goal here is to have a delayed gas geyser, have faster queens, and we just drone. We just drone as much as we can. The goal here is to defend only with queens and cut corners in doing so. This usually leads into a faster or into roach play instead of link speed. I'm concerned because this is not 2-Rax Reaper, this is 3-Rax Reaper. Very aggressive, very committed. This is not all in. Do not get this twisted. Don't misinterpret this. Not all in. This is designed to contain your opponent on 2 bases, deny the 3rd, contain, and of course even trade with queens and trade with links. Behind this we expand. Behind this, Akedon will be throwing down the CC. So very committed but not quite all in. Reaper is going to be zooming across the map, and Wayne does confirm this. Very big scout here as he does dive into the main base. He sees a Rax in the main, which is very unorthodox, and he will soon confirm the other 2 Raxes on the low ground as well. So Wayne is aware, which means he should be making some lings, maybe even some spine crawlers as well. We'll see how he does respond. There we go, as he does confirm the Rax count here on the low ground as well. He should be aware. Yep, there we go. Roach one already on the way. Interesting. So we are indeed skipping link speed. Bold move. Bold move here by Wayne. I'm not too sure if I'm in love with this. The Roachborn has been scouted, has been spotted by Akedon. I was saying that 15-15 leads into roaches. That is true, but we are rushing into roaches, and it's going to take a while until we can actually produce many of them. These Reapers, they have a window. They have a window of opportunity where they can maybe catch some damage or get some damage done. Queens are having a bit of a hard time keeping up with the rotation, but they do get here in time. Reap has been connected. Queen's going to be trading here. Additional Reapers are on the way. Oh, and it looks like Akedon is going to be forced out. Wayne does hold. He was forced to make lings. He wanted to avoid them, but safety lings here just to make sure things don't get out of hand. Behind this, Akedon is expanding. He is taking that natural. As he does poke away at that queen. Going to be rotating on over. Checks for a 3rd base location. Checks the gold. Akedon confirming that he has successfully contained his opponent to 2 bases. So far, good scout by Akedon. And pretty good damage so far as well. How many Reapers do we have? We are up to 8 Reapers. We do get eyes on the roaches. Behind this, Wayne is droning. He's not going all in. He's just making roaches to defend. He's trying to recover economically, because he has been forced to invest into units. Reapers, they do threaten a dive. Rotate over towards the main. Don't commit behind this. Because we scattered the Roachborn, Marauders. Marauder production has commenced. We have a bunker on the other side of the wall to make sure we can actually protect this position. So far, really solid defense here by Akedon. Really good transition as well. And we can force a cancel on the third. Oh. And we cancel the third base. We go for the Ravager, and we will get it as well. It was a costly trade. 2 Reapers for a Ravager, but alongside that, we cancel the base. Well worth it here for the Terran. Well worth it for a green Terran player. Behind this, Wayne still just droning as much as he can. Still no link speed. No lair either. Trying to keep up, and oh my god, he wants that Ravager if possible. He wants it, but no link speed. These things are gonna get cleaned up. Oh. Oh my god. This Reaper does barely escape. Behind this, there's that lair in production. 2 more gases. We have 1 Eva chamber for +1 range. This should be for 4 Roach speed. We are intentionally avoiding link speed here, so just purely Roach Ravager play here from Wayne. That is our composition of choice. Meanwhile, Akedon, he's also transitioning as well, already working on +1 attack. Factory's on the way, eventually a starport as well. He's amassing Marines and Marauders. He comes across that third base for a second time. We should not force a cancel. We're getting damage done, yes, but the army isn't too far behind, and we had a little bit too much HP here, so Akedon is forced away. But at least he confirms. He confirms it's not a 2-base all-in. Confirms that a third is being taken. He wants the Queen! We do manage to transfuse, and the Queen will survive. That was a little bit close, though. The Reapers, they're left idle for a moment. 1 Reaper goes down. But here come the reinforcements of Akedon. The Marines, the Marauders. Stim has completed. We have combat shields, we have +1, and soon we will also have concussive shell. And we're still droning! Wayne, he doesn't see this army moving out. This Overseer Scout is too late. He's not ready for this. Wayne is not ready at all. He's being so greedy, droning and going for an infestation pit. Wayne, he's up 20 workers compared to his opponents, and he has no army. And here comes Akedon. He catches the Ravagers, and everything's going to go down. The Ravagers, the Roaches, the Queens, and there is nothing left. We have 9 Roaches in production. The Reapers, they get peeled off. They go straight for the mineral line. And the Marine Marauder goes straight for the army itself. Good target firing. We have a couple of Roaches remaining here, but the Marauders, they can just focus them down one after the other. And Akedon, he snowballs out of control. GG gets called. Akedon takes game number 1. GG. Very nicely done here. Does take the first game. And yeah, Wayne just being a little bit greedy. I say being a little bit greedy, yeah, just having a really interesting reaction to what was happening. Just skipping link speed, which means Reapers have a lot more longevity because they can, of course, outmaneuver your Roaches. They are, of course, faster. And towards the end there, Wayne just being a little bit too greedy. Didn't realize how committed the counterattack was going to be, and he didn't see it coming ahead of time. As the attack was commencing, Wayne still had drones on the way. He still had drones in production. Remember, he was taking up into an infestation pit towards infestors, and thinking a little bit too far ahead. Was caught with his pants down, and now we're getting into game number 2. Gonna be on Hecate. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have our red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. Down in the series, looking to fight back. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player from the land of Spain, representing the Platinum Heroes. He has been on a hiatus for many months. Hasn't really been active this year at all, but popping off here in the Euro Cup, it is Akedon. Vámonos. This time, we have the depot on the high ground. This time, we are not going for a 2-Rax opener. No 2-Rax Reaper. Something a lot more standard. It makes sense. We are on a bit of a larger map, a longer rush distance by ground. And Wayne is going to be the aggressor going into a gas first. Oh my god. gas pull into the hatchery here for Wayne. Very aggressive. This should be leading into a roach rush. There should be a roach rush from Wayne. Otherwise, we could go into link speed and into a Bane bust. That is also going to be an option, but a very aggressive build here from our red Zerg player. We'll see what direction he takes us in, whether it's roaches, whether it's banelings, or whether it's just link speed. There are kind of 3 options available here. This is when he goes for none of them and goes for like 2 base lair. Which would be wild. Would be crazy. As the SCV is going to be scouting across the map. Going to be maneuvering on over. Likewise, Reaper is on the way. Queens are in production alongside a handful of lings. We have pulled out a gas, which means we are only getting link speed. Okay. Interesting. So, we're not going into roaches. We're not going into banelings. It's just link speed here for Wayne. It looks like, I mean, this is a hard counter. I say a hard counter. This is a good way to counteract something like 2-Rax Reaper. But that is not what's coming out. Not this time. And say standard Rax expand. Now, there is going to be a window. There's going to be a timing. Now, Akedon, he did see the timing of this hatchery. He knows that it's at least a pull first. And he saw the lings, of course, as well. So he's taking a more defensive position. He is chilling back at home, expecting lings to arrive. Yeah, he does turn back around with that Reaper. So he's aware of how dangerous Wayne is right now. As Wayne is droning, yes, but he still has lings active on the map. His goal here is to try to delay the CC. And we have more lings on the way. We're flooding lings! Uh-oh. We're cutting workers at 18. We only made 2 extra drones. Okay, we're getting some mixed signals. A little bit of both. We got lings on the way. Got a handful of drones as well. But all these lings could have been workers. So this is still very committed from Wayne. Very committed. I'm not too fond of how indecisive this production is from Wayne, but we're going for it. Here we go. Lings, they do catch the Reaper. Reaper goes down. Lings get across the map as well. The CC does finish. CC does finish. We get 1 SCV, and now we get the hell out of there. This was okay. Like, we got a Reaper, we got a worker. We're denying mining at the natural. Behind this... 2-port BC? No shot. No shot, Papi. Are we going 2-port BC or 2-port Banshee? Starport just finished up. Tech Labs are on the way. Are we going Viking first or Banshee first? That's the real question. That is going to be the tell. Lings, they don't quite get into the main base. We do get eyes on the 111. We do get eyes on the 1 Rax, 1 Factory, 1 Starport. Banshee production. Okay, we're not going into the Fusion Core. Banshees are on the way. 2-port Banshee. Cloak, and I imagine Hyperflight Rotors are going to be in production. Akedon shaking it up, and he's up against roaches. This is ideal for the Terran. Banshees are already a really good opener against roach heavy play, just because roaches don't push up, and they don't push up. They don't shoot up, is what I meant to say. But likewise, they can't really push. They don't really have much pushing power, because if they do move out on the map, they're going to be harassed and shut down by these Banshees. So a bold move here from Akedon. It's going to pay off, specifically against Wayne. Like, Wayne, he's a roach boy. Like, he's all about those roaches in this matchup. So a good read from our Terran player. Kind of metagaming his opponent. Wayne going straight into his lair. Lair at the natural, joining up, taking his gases. There it is. Hyperflight Rotors is on the way. Oh boy. And we are just building up our Banshees. We do scout. Big scout here as we get eyes on the 2nd starport. Wayne, he's aware immediately. Spores. Spores are being thrown down left and right. With this lair, we can get into a Spire or a Hydra Den. We need some anti-air. Desperately. But that's a big moment here for Wayne. Okay. Knowing is half the battle. It's the first half. What about the second? As Hellions are moving out. Do we have any roaches to defend? We have 6 roaches. That should be enough to deny a dive. Meanwhile, the Banshees are amassing. We're getting into a 3rd CC. How many Banshees do we have? 4. 4 Banshees towards the right-hand side. Hellions towards the left. The roaches are in position. Good movement here from Wayne. As the Hellions try to dive in, we do go for a link counterattack, but the wall is a wall. And we will defend. They just come in. They're going for the queens. They get one. One queen does go down. But these banshees are fragile. They will back up. Doing a good job at just maintaining map control. There it is. Spire is on the way. We're going into Mutas. The mutas are upon us. Now, Akeron, he should be aware that this is a big possibility, and he should have a plan to how to transition out of this. He's going into Bio. 4 Raxes. Now, this is interesting. Stim is on the way. Alright, massive 2-port Banshee into Bio. Not something I'm used to seeing here. Usually the transition is mech. And I'm sure Wayne is thinking that as well. So there's a very important tech switch here, and it's very important that Wayne figures out what's going on. He needs to realize that it is going to be Bio, not Cyclones or anything like that. Another queen goes down the mineral line. The Hellions, they get into the natural base. The Roaches, they were out of position. We roast everything up. 23 drones go down. And we dive into the main as well. We're not done. It's not over. The Spaniard BBQ. As we get 24 dead workers here among the bases. Link counterattack is going to try to bust in, but Marines have been revealed. The Banshees, they reinforce. We're going to get a couple of SCVs. We get maybe one, but nowhere near enough to equalize. The Banshees are all still alive. Bear that in mind. Still marauding around, looking at the Unisol type here. That is going to be 2 dead queens, 26 workers, a couple of roaches. And we even come across the would-be 4th, and it's going to be cancelled. Queens have to be very careful here, as they don't want to engage off of creep. Big roach counterattack. But again, we have Marines. We have Marines back at home. The mutas have arrived. We do split up the... Yeah, we have to split up the Banshees. We fan them out. Avoid the splash damage. And the Banshees will escape. God, they're boosted. So fast. They do escape. Now, Wayne, he has recognized what's been going on, but again, his economy did take a massive blow, did take a massive hit. He's still committed to Roach Ravager. He did invest into these mutas. At least he's aware of the Bio army. Infestation bits on the way. Infestors would be ideal. As Wayne does rotate over towards the right-hand side. Chat, light blue one. Oh yeah, hyperfire raiders. Yeah, that is Banshee speed. That's why they be quick. That's why they be quick here. As the mutas, they will back off. They will retreat. We got a 4th hatchery on the way. 2-2 as well. And the game is going to be stabilizing for a moment. Wayne, he's trying to trade with these mutas, but he's going to be transitioning into Roach Hydra, which makes plenty of sense. Mutas are not really, again, as impactful here in this game. Say they get a tank. Take down a tank, they take down some SCVs. We're getting a lot done. No turrets in the main. Oh my god. Again, on cutting some corners, they're being punished for it. 7 dead workers in the main base. Very nicely done. And with this, Wayne, his economy is getting a bit out of hand here. We're getting up to 70 workers, soon to be even more than that. Banshees, though, they do dive in. Once again, they catch some of the queens. I mean, with the death of the mutas, yeah, the Banshees, they just wreak havoc here between the bases. They get another queen. 1 Banshee, 2 Banshees go down, but we're going for the final queen here at the natural. Oh. Getting quite a bit done. Well, get on amassing his Bio army. Lurker dens on the way. Oh, the fungal! Oh, we take down an infestor. Expensive losses, and I get on. He's going for the kill move. Behind this, how many Raxes? 7. 7 Raxes. No gases here at the 3rd base. This is essentially a massive 3-base all-in here from Akedon. He's got 1-1, no armory, no 2-2. Just a strong 1-1 timing here from our Terran player. It's all or nothing. While they take down one of the tanks. god, and the Mass Marine is going uncontested. Where's the Infestor? We have one. We don't. It looks like it went down earlier. The Marines, they just get out of control. Man with gun here as we stim on forward. The boys are being pulled, but we get on top of the Ravagers. We get on top of the Hydras as well. And there's just no splash damage available. And Ageddon, he has done it. He breaks through. GG gets called. And Ageddon takes game number 2. GG. Oh my god. Just, yeah, really decisive play here from our Terran player. And has been playing with this series quite well as well. Like going for, initially going for the two, sorry, I was a little bit distracted. Initially going for the 2-port Banshee to force a reaction. Even before that, we had the Roach Rush and the fast link speed from Wayne, not really achieving too much either. The Banshee play did quite well, and I do kind of like that against Wayne specifically, just because he's so prone to going roaches, and he was able to achieve so much with it, killing drones, killing queens, eventually transitioning into Bio, which again was, I feel like, a little bit out of left field. Not something that you see too often. And from there, going into the 3-base all-in. Again, remember, behind that, there was no armory, no 2-2, no further upgrades, no further tech, no further bases. It was all or nothing. And with that, we're getting into game number 3. Again, this is the best of 5. Ageddon needs one more here to close it out, to take it all, to win it all for himself. Wayne, can we fight back here? These have not been the most standard of games. That's the other tricky thing here, is that Ageddon, he hasn't been playing standard against Wayne, not at all. Wayne has been having a hard time adjusting, and here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Ageddon. Leading the series 2-0. As we are, oh my god. As we are going to be getting into this, and we're going for a proxy 3 racks. Oh my god, I mean, Ageddon, he has momentum. He has momentum in this series. Going for a proxy 3 racks of all things. Very committed. Very committed here by our Terran player. Meanwhile, Wayne going for a pull first. Oh my god, how the game sense. Being aware that, of course, he's on match point, going for a pull first opener, this is ideal. With this, we get faster queens and faster links, a faster transition into roaches. Wayne so far has a really good setup to defend against something like a proxy 3 racks, but he's not fully aware of what's going on. He does leave his Overlord parked outside his natural, so he will see those SCVs when they come in for the bunkers, as his first Overlord is zooming across the map. Here we go. Here come those lings. SCV has been spotted. We dive on top of it immediately. Yeah, we do have to pull back. Pull back to the safety of the Sim City. We do get eyes on the Marines. Wayne knows. No fear. He goes across the map with those lings. Pulling back immediately, Roach Warren's on the way. So Wayne, he sees 3 SCVs. So he knows there's a 3 racks. He knows he doesn't have to defend this natural base. Roach Warren is in production. We do give it up. We do give up on it. And there's no wall. The lings, they're getting in. Lings, they're getting into the main base. They get on top of the SCV. Boys are being pulled. Ageddon getting supply blocked. Uh-oh. He does force back those lings. Okay, he has control of the natural, but that's fine. Like, again, Ageddon is all in. Going for a 3-ax is very committed. And Wayne does not have to protect his natural. We have roaches on the way. Across the map, 3 more SCVs go down. So much lost mine time here. And the lings have not been dealt with. Hatchery goes down, but again, we can afford that. It's all good. We are going to be amassing roaches. Lings still being very annoying. Very annoying across the map, as we are just going to be waiting here to eventually get into Ravagers. There we go, Ravagers are on the way. And the goal here is to break free and counterattack. Meanwhile, Gedon has to contain his opponent for as long as possible and try to transition back at home. We could do one of two things. We could either throw down a wall of bunkers and double down and go for tech labs to go into stim and combat shields and get into marauder production, or we can go for a factory back at home instead, into a starport. The problem is the economy was disrupted, and oh my, we're pulling the boys. Again, he's doubling down on the all-in. He says none of the above. We pull the SCVs, we pull the boys, and we're committing to the all-in. Here we go. It's all or nothing for our Terran player. Wild's going to be slowing down and forcing some repairs. I mean, again, because of the delayed economy, I think this is a wise choice for Makedon. I think this is like one of the only ways we could try to pull this off. But it's not going to be easy pushing into Ravagers like this. Before Cicadas on both of those bunkers. Boys are being pulled. We're trying to get this around. I'm loving these zoning biles from Wayne. They connect. Big. Oh my god. The biles. They connect to the Marines. GG gets called. And Wayne holds. Wayne survives. And he fights back in this series. GG. Oh my god. Those were some insane biles out of Wayne. Again, for those that are curious, against a proxy 2 racks, you can't afford to lose the natural. Against a 3 racks, you can. 3 racks is that much more committed, is that much more all-in. You can give up on your base. It's all good as long as you're getting into roaches. So really cool, calm, and collected transition there from Wayne. Having the game sense as well for going for that pull first did help immensely in that defense as well. So everything, just the stars were aligning for Wayne to defend in that game and to shut it down. And yeah, GG. GG, well played. We do have a series. And we are going to be getting into game number 4. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning. Oh, it's going for another 15-15. Spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the green Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Gedon. Still one game away from winning the best of 5. Wayne needs to fight back here and now to force that ace match. And this is the second time we're doing this series. So it's going to be a 15 hatch into a 15 spawning pool. Again, as we mentioned before, this is a very greedy way to play. Ideally, you want to delay your gases, you're cutting corners, you're droning, you're going to be skipping lings, and you're going to be defending against these Reapers with purely queens. So, late gas, prioritization of queens, and we just drone. We just drone as much as we can. And we saw that Wayne was punished for going for this opener in game 1 on Equilibrium, just because Gedon happened to be going for a 2 Rax Reaper. But this time Gedon, he's going for a more standard opener, a Rax Expand instead. So Wayne should be able to get away with this. He should be okay. Should be okay. As he's just going to be droning, saturating his bases. Eventually taking his gas. So because his gas guys are so late, usually this leads into a player that skips link speed and goes straight into roaches, which is what we saw in Equilibrium. It's what I imagine will happen here as well. I say imagine because there are some Zerg players that still invest into link speed anyway. I just don't think Wayne is that kind of player. He's all about them roaches. We'll see. For now, there are those queens we spoke about. Again, we're just droning. Just droning as much as we can. We're only using the spawning pool to make these queens. Back at home. Uh-oh, this is a little bit different and a little bit scary. So Gedon, he goes for a Rax Expand into a second Rax behind this. This could be a 2-1-1. This could be a 3 Rax. This could be a 4 Rax. I'm curious where this takes us. If Gedon has been watching a lot of Bjorn, then I wouldn't be surprised if he does go for a 4 Rax. But we are just waiting a little bit longer here, and it is going to be the factory. Okay, so it's going to be a 2-1-1 variation. I'm curious to see how we do get into this. Marine production is underway. We got tech labs as well. So this is going to be a pretty powerful, pretty dedicated attack here from Gedon. It's a straight up 2-1-1, which means delayed third. It means we're not really looking to get into an economic game. in general, we haven't been seeing economic games here from Armageddon in this series. Hyper aggression, as this should be leading into a starport and a very delayed third TC. And we're going to be hitting with stim. We're going to be working on a stim timing as well as medevacs. Oh, Tumor goes down. Very nice pickoff. Meanwhile, I assumed that this would be that we would be skipping link speed and going straight into roaches, and we are skipping link speed. We are going straight into a lair. Okay. Very greedy here from Wayne. Very fast lair timing. I'm concerned because Wayne hasn't scouted much. He doesn't really know what's going on. There's that Roach Warren, so basically this lair and the Roach Warren is lined up where when the Roach Warren finishes, we go right into Roach Speed. Roach Speed will commence very quickly. The problem here, again, is that he hasn't scouted and he doesn't know that we're pushing pretty soon. There's that starport. Basically, we're going to be going for an add-on swap. An add-on swap with the starport and the factory. Straight into 2 medevacs. We're going to be hitting a time with 16 Marines with stim. And this is going to be a very crisp timing and a very tense moment for Wayne. As Wayne, for now, he's just droning on up, which is fine. You can still drone up until around the 4-minute 30 mark. That's when we want to be making units. So we're going to be droning quite hard, investing into upgrades. We got Roach Speed and Carapace on the way. And from this point forward, this is when we need to make units. There we go. The Overseer Scout is coming in, and we do get eyes on the opener. We do get eyes on the 2-1-1. We're aware. Now we make roaches. Oh, the roaches we can. Overseer goes down. Armageddon is going to be pushing. Now, on the flip side of things, again, Armageddon, he needs to trade well because he has invested so much into this, even getting an eBay behind this, and he is delaying his third by so much here. He will fall behind economically if he doesn't trade well. Here we go. The drop is moving out. Back at home, Wayne, he's amassing Ravagers. He's squeezing out a couple of drones here and there, but he is still working with an army. Roaches are on the way. Ling Speed as well to help reinforce. I appreciate going back into Ling Speed. So far, Queens are keeping up, and this double drop doesn't find a way into the main. The army's in position. So far, again, we were able to cut workers in time, produce the army, get in position, and Wayne, he defends. He does deflect this initially. What's concerning, that's a third Rax. Still no third TC. This is looking more and more like a 2-base all-in. It's looking more and more. Oh god, the miles! Oh my god. They barely don't connect. But again, this is looking more and more like an all-in here, and Wayne is in the dark. This is okay for now, but if he drones up too much, then yeah, we have Liberators on the way. Yeah, 2-base all in, 100%. We're going, we're lifting up, we're sending it, Bobby. And Wayne, if he drones up too much, then he may just fall over and die. Thankfully, he's still amassing Roach Ravager. Cutting workers at 58. This is an okay worker count to cut at. I would say like 66 would be the max. Ling Speed, I believe, is done. No, we cancelled Ling Speed. Okay, so we're only going to defend with Roach Ravager. No, the Roaches! Wayne, he gets caught out and is going to be bleeding out. What is that? 3 Roaches. Every Roach counts. Every Roach does count. Behind this, now we get a third CC on the way. Very late third here from our Terran player. But it is on the way. But this is still very committed, and we're diving on forward. Get the Overseer. We avoid the piles. Oh my god, the stutter stepping here. That's going to be a kill, not a cancel. A kill on the 4th base. We get on top of the Ravagers as well. We focus one of them down. And Wayne is hurting. Wayne losing that 4th was massive. And now suddenly, because we killed the 4th base, because we traded well with the Roaches, even though we got a late 3rd, it's okay. We can take a late 3rd. We can afford to do this. We have done well enough, and he wants another one of those Ravagers. The Liberators, they have arrived, denying any kind of mining here at the natural base. Ravagers are on the way, but 0 mining going on right now. The Liberators are repositioning. Here come the Ravagers. The Biles. They will take this down. 4 drones. Akeron coming in with another army. Again, he still hasn't landed his base, but again, because it's so late, that's why he has so much to work with. Oof. And once again, catching these roaches off of creep like this. Wayne overextending. Another couple of roaches go down. How many in total so far? 9. 9 roaches. Roach Raptor across the map to deny the would-be third base. Floating third gets eyes on this. We have tanks in position. D-Birds, they're going to be going down. Wayne, he wants to force the issue. He's trying to break into the natural. Wayne himself cutting workers very, very early on as well. So both players are committed. Like, we cut workers like at 4 minutes, what is that? 4 minutes 30. We cut workers at like 55. Oh, not that early, like a couple of minutes ago. We just haven't been droning for quite some time. So Wayne himself doesn't have the best economy, but he has a large army. Does connect with some of those biles. Loses the queen. Wayne is close to maxing out. He's getting there with purely Roach Ravager. He's got an Infestor on the way. Oh, bit of friendly fire. Can Wayne break him? I do think that pushing into the natural was a mistake. I think we wanted to just deny the third. Just deny the third over and over again. Just take up, work towards a hive, 3-3, Hydra Den, Lurker Den. I think trying to break this position is a little bit over eager, but we're going for it. It looks to be the case anyway. Wayne is going to be engaging. Wow, they connect with the medevac. Not too many Marines here. Wayne, he should be able to take this fight. Just barely takes down one of the tanks, but here come the reinforcements. And there's no more roaches to support, and every Ravager here. Most of the Ravagers are going to be going down. A bit of a rough trade from Wayne. Infestor now arriving. There's Link Speed starting up again. And because Wayne lost so much, now he can't deny this third. He needs to, though. I think he knows that. He just rounded up to 66. Oh my god, almost does bar down the base. A big fungal! Massive fungal in the Marine army. Ah, but it's not going to be enough. Just barely enough biles. They will connect. They take down one of those tanks. Boys are being pulled as well, but we're getting on top of those Ravagers for a second time. Ravagers being targeted down. The tanks, they survive. The tanks survived. Only 5 workers fell in that engagement. And even though Wayne has been up in supply for quite some time here, it's inflated supply. The soup does lie. And it's slipping away from Wayne a little bit. We have to transition. There we go. Now we're droning. Now we're getting the 4th up and running. Hive on the way. Hydra Den, Infestors. We should be working towards Lurker Viper. That should be kind of the end goal here for Wayne. But this transition is late. It is a late transition, late saturation, late economy. Wayne, he's not as far ahead as he otherwise could have been. Just because it did look like he wanted to end it. As a result, Akedon's in a pretty good position, I would say. He's got his 3rd up and running, 4th base is on the way, 2-2 as well. The one downside here is that I believe Akedon hasn't seen the hive. So, he's going for drop play. I believe he hasn't seen the hive, so he's unaware. Oh, the Fungals! Full Medevac goes down. Pretty good pickup. But I believe he hasn't seen the hive. Yeah, he saw the lair, no hive. He hasn't seen the tech either, so he doesn't know right now what he needs is a Ghost Academy. We need a Ghost Academy just to get ready for hive tech. Vipers, Lurkers, Ultras, Greater Spire, Broodlords, whatever is made from this hive, which we know is going to be Lurkers, we do need Ghosts for it. There it is. Lurker Den is on the way. Vipers as well. For the time being, Akedon is still just stuck with Biotank. Still just sticking with Biotank. 4th base soon to be taken. Liberators are racing back home. Marauders have to be careful. If he wants the Infestor, he's gonna get it! Oh my god! What was that, like 5 shots to kill an Infestor? Very nice pick up here from Akedon. 4th base is being taken. Go. The SCVs are being sent out. Wayne has maxed out as well. But what kind of army are we working with here? Only 3 lurkers. We have 36 roaches. These roaches, they're killing Wayne. They're hurting Wayne more than they're helping him. We need to get rid of these roaches soon and refine our army. Again, both armies are maxed out, but one is not like the other. Like this is, again, this is inflated supply from Wayne. We got to get rid of it. Yeah, there we go. You can see him killing some of his own units. Archedon is pushing out. Liberator harass you on the left-hand side. Tanks are going to be sieging. Wayne gets caught. A couple of roaches get picked off. Vipers have arrived. We have a lot of Blinding Cloud or even Abduction potential. We get 1, we get 2, we get 3, we get 4. 4 yoinks, and soon to be 4 dead tanks. Massive fungal on the army! But there's no follow-up. We just take the fungals to the face. We still on forward lurkers. They're getting burrowed. They're getting in position. But the tanks are doing so much in the back line. They annihilated that army. Wayne losing his roaches, losing some of those lurkers as well. As I get on, he can keep on pushing. This time with libs, with those tanks. Who needs ghosts? We don't need them. Not yet. Oh my god, it's a tank volley. The volleys of the tanks are just insane. Wayne, he cannot touch this. No! He tries to biles down one of the tanks. Hatchery's going to be going down. And Archedon, he can just keep on pushing. Again, Wayne was maxed out, but he was stuck with an inefficient army. Being forced further and further back. He has 0 lurkers left. 0 Vipers left as well. Again, we needed those Vipers for Blinding Clouds or for Abductions. Without them, we cannot engage. We cannot touch this army. There we go. Vipers are now in production. Wayne catches a tank. Good pick off. Does catch a tank here. So Wayne is going to rotate over towards the left-hand side. Rocks are being knocked down. Head-on, gonna be backing off. Gonna be retreating for now. The tanks, I think we can fight this head-on, yeah. Head-on, he can just slow siege here and force back the army. Now, Wayne is remaxing. He's this time with a much stronger army, but his economy is hurting. He's running out of money. He has no bank. Only on 65 workers. Archedon, he has the better economy himself. He's got the workers plus the mules. Lurker harass, though, gonna be forcing him back. At the same time, Wayne pushing through the center could try to break into the natural. He's going for it. But there's a tank in position. That's where the Viper comes in. One tank goes down. We get a second. The Vipers, that's all they had, though. The tanks, they're getting within range. No Blinding Clouds available. And Wayne is forced back. Oof. Taking a lot of tank shots to the face. That Lurker still going ham. Power to the Lurker. Takes down a gas geyser. But is going to be shut down. Wayne still working on his economy. There we go. 8 drones on the way. Now he's finally going to be getting up to towards the 80 worker count. But again, because of his low worker count, he just has been having a really hard time trading and affording these trades. Workers getting... Oh, that's the main. Main base was lifted as the 5th. It's going to be denied. Get on, though. He's working on another push here. Again, there's that Ghost Academy just now starting up. The roaches, they get caught out as well. Liberator production well underway. Here we go. A couple of Blinding Clouds going to be thrown down. Wayne diving on the army here, but we just kite back. The tanks, they weren't siege, and now they can. And this is all that we have left. There's no buffer for the lurkers. Liberators, they siege up so many lib. The freedom zones are here. We dive on top of the lurkers. Everything gets cleaned up. Only 2 lurkers remain. Only 1 lurker remains, and that is the army of Wayne just getting annihilated. And Akeron, he has momentum, he can keep on pushing. Wayne is remaxing, but it takes time. It takes time to build up the lurker count. And there it is, 7 lurkers are on the way. We need a time here to actually allow them to finish. But Akeron, he's knocking down his front door. Heading towards the bases here, catching some of these reinforcements. 5th CC is going to be denied. Tanks are sieging. Lurkers are finishing. But we get the scan. We do get the scan, and it looks like we should be able to collapse on this once again. Yeah, the tank shots are insane. The blinding cloud runs out. And we clean up the army for a second time. Akeron, he's just snowballing out of control. Breaks the northern base, and he's going for the kill. He's going for every other mining base remaining. Going for the drones. The workers. 18 drones go down. The hatchery as well. We're making our way towards that natural. The lurkers, they need a little bit more time. They're not done. They do not finish. And Akeron, he gets on top of the army. GG gets called, and he will take the series 3-1. And that is how he made it to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Akeron looking damn strong here, damn powerful in that TVZ. The entire series, actually, he had a really unique playstyle. I think what's interesting to me is that Akeron, he was hyper aggressive, but he did something different every game. You know, we had different builds. We had 3 Raxes, we had proxies, we had 2 base all-ins. We even had 2-port Banshee into a 3-base all-in, into a 7 Rax with no gases, with no, obviously no follow-up. Very, very all-in and very aggressive styles here from Akeron, and Wayne just couldn't keep up with it. Just struggled to keep up with it. Even in this game here himself, Wayne, he was maybe overreacting to the aggression of his opponent, and because of that, Wayne was stuck on a very low worker count for a very long time, and he just fell behind. He fell behind as a result. It took too long to get up to 70 workers. He was stuck on 66 for far too long, even 55 for far too long. And Akeron, he snowballed out of control. GG, well played. And with that, that is going to be the conclusion of our broadcast. I did mention before, there are some people that are maybe tuning in now. We actually live casted this event. We did live cast the entire most of the tournaments, but we missed out on one series. This series, the semifinals, the upper semifinals we missed, but we got the replays, which is why we covered it right after we finished the finals. So, a little bit disjointed. We live casted the lower semis into the finals, into this semifinals match. So if you missed out on some of these games, if you missed out on the finals earlier, I highly recommend it. The finals was insane. I just wanted to see how Akeron got there. I was really curious because he took down Wayne, and I would have favored Wayne. I would have favored young Yakov as well. And Akeron, he just mowed his way through both of them. And we now have an idea as to how he did it. With, again, just these very aggressive styles, very high-paced, high-tempo game. I'm not really looking towards any kind of later stages of the game, and yeah, catching Wayne off guard time and time again. GG. GG, well played. Ooh. So again, if you want to tune into the finals, or even the lower semifinals, we got you covered in the VODs. We just wrapped up with them. We just casted them over on Twitch, and they will eventually be on YouTube as well, or I've actually live casted on YouTube as well. VODs, they're all over the place, all over the place. So yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ketan, of course, advanced on to the finals to face off against Shameless. Shameless was also in the lower semifinals match. And yeah, hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I hope everyone had a great time. See Terran Lord rocking up towards the end, Periphean, Thorn as well. Yeah, back-to-back broadcasts here. Pretty long broadcasts, actually. We covered Sparkling Tuna Cup right into the Euro Cup as well. Day 2. Day number 2. So, yeah, I mentioned this before when we went to a break, but a big shout out to Tommy Gun and Platoon. Without them, this event would not be happening. But Tommy Gun, he was actually giving us a little bit of insight. He was letting us know that the last time they held a Euro Cup, it was in 2020, and Uthermal won it. So really cool to see that they were able to bring it back many years later. And hopefully we see many more. Hopefully we see many more ahead of us as well. So yeah, much love to Tommy Gun, much love to Platoon, and thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much for the support. I saw some people asking about Stormgate, and apparently Stormgate is starting in 36 minutes. There's going to be a show match. There's going to be a TLO versus TLO versus Mana show match into Moon. And I believe that's going to be covered by ESL. Let me just double check that. It's going to be casted by Tasteless. Tasteless and Artosis. Tasteless is going to be covering, we're going to be covering it on Twitch and YouTube. And YouTube again. Let me just double check. So from my understanding, yep, okay, there we go. So from my understanding, if you're in the chat and if you are curious about Stormgate, I am as well. I would love to watch some of that. Bam, it's in the chat. Twitch.tv/ESL. It's not on ESL_SC2. It's on just pure plain ESL. That is where Tastosis are going to be covering TLO versus Mana. In the Stormgate beta, in the beta of Stormgate. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in as well, so make sure you're a part of that. Make sure you tune in. After the Stormgate show matches finish, then it's going to be StarCraft. Then StarCraft will be commencing. It is scheduled to be commencing in like 5 hours, I think. Let me just double check. The finals of DreamHack Atlanta in 4 hours. In 4 hours time. So plenty of time to get some food, to get some rest, get some water, and take a break and enjoy Stormgate before the semifinals and the finals of DreamHack Atlanta. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a great time. I'll try to stay up. I'm at least going to stay up for Stormgate. I will try to stay up for DreamHack Atlanta as well. It's very late here. It's 2 a.m. and I haven't been sleeping too well, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Aye. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thanks so much for the support. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support. And if you want to tune into more of the CranKy Ducklings, we are live every day, every single day. Sometimes, like today, multiple times a day. We casted twice here, technically 3 times on the CranKy Ducklings tonight. A lot of StarCraft. And our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow. It's going to be ESL Open Cup Asia. The ESL Open Cups continue. This is going to be an interesting ESL Open Cup because it's in less than 24 hours, and a lot of the Koreans are traveling. So that means players like Dark, Cure, Beyond, Creator, Solar, our regulars, Hero, Classic, they're not going to be there. Nightmare, they're all in the United States. So who's going to be a part of the ESL Open Cup Asia? I don't know. Whoever didn't go to DreamHack, and there aren't that many. Who am I thinking? I'm thinking Sue, TY, Miyamaika, like all the C players. Yo, time to ping all the C players. Miyamaika, Honmono, nice. Get them in there. Get them into ESL Open Cup Asia because all the Koreans are traveling and there's a lot of money up for grabs. There's like 400 USD up for grabs. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Gonna be a wild one. So yeah, in how many hours? 17 hours. 17 hours time. We're gonna be live on this channel with ESL Open Cup Asia. Be a part of it. Be there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Thanks for watching. Bye. Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hasta luego.